Now what I am going to cover is important MCQ, that is whatever happened in August 2022, that will be covered by MCQ. Means I'll discuss 20 MCQ with you. I have already discussed 20 MCQ in previous session. So total will be 40 MCQ, and August important news will be completely covered. So who all are want to revise for August important current affair MCQ, they can revise through all those 40 MCQ. First part is already shared with you. I am going to discuss with the second part. The first question here is, man of the whole recently seen in the news belongs to which of the following? This means man of the whole. So what is it, and from related to which country? Actually, it is related to Brazil, and native of that Brazil is man of the whole. I'll show you the explanation part. Okay, man of the whole or Tanaru Indian. The other name for the man of the whole is Tanaru Indian, was an indigenous person, that is native person who lived alone in Amazon rainforest. So he was only the native of Amazon rainforest, and you know that Amazon rainforest is in Brazil. So that's why this news is in the news, and it is the answer would be the Brazil. Next question is, consider the following. So this type of question is also asked. When you read polity, you have to be ready for some of the philosophical aspect of polity where question is asked. The question here asks is, the philosophy of justice through bail is granted under Article 20 of the Indian Constitution. The first option is this. The second option, the definition of term bail is mentioned in Criminal Procedure Code CRPC. Anyone can answer this? Polity cover हुआ है बहुत लोगों का. Okay, the first is the right one. The philosophy of justice through bail is guaranteed under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution. I'll try to explain something in this. Actually, what is this? First of all, read the explanation. The philosophy of justice through bail is guaranteed under Article 21 of Indian Constitution, which aims to protect life and also liberty, provide that liberty can be deprived only through the procedure established by law. Please note this term, procedure established by the law. I am going to discuss the four term that I'll discuss. And definition of the term bail is not mentioned in CRPC, it is mentioned in Article 21. Now I'm going to discuss the four term. Okay. First is equality before law. Just a second. First term in polity is equality before law. Second term is equal protection of law. Third term is due process of law. And fourth and last term is procedure established by the law. These are the four important parameters of basic of polity that I'll explain you. What are these terms? And we read in fundamental right. Okay. But these all four terms have different meaning. Equality before law, equal protection of law, due process of law, and procedure established by the law. First of all, equality before a law is a negative term. How? I'll explain you. What equality before law say? Suppose a son of Ambani has done some criminal activity, and I have also done the same criminal activity. So both will be punished under this equality before law, and both will give same quantum of punishment. So both will be punished. Since the word punish is used, that's why it is a negative. Now coming to the second option, what is equal protection of law? It means law will equally protect me and as well as Ambani's son. So whosoever has done done anything or have not done anything, both will be protected by the law. Suppose you have you will be allowed to meet with your advocate for the same crime. You will not be given. You will not be punished twice. So these things is under equal protection of law. This is again positive, taken from America. Next is due process of law. The question which was discussed is between these two. जो अभी हमने क्वेश्चन देखा था पहला वाला, वो इसी दो के बीच में है. थोड़ा सा इसको समझिए क्या है. Due process of law and procedure established by law. What this say due process of law? That means if law is made on something, it has to be judged whether due process of law has been followed or not. That means you can say that it is fair or not. Suppose if government is making some law, suppose the government is tomorrow is making a law that all will be arrested, and the government is following all the procedure through which law should be made. मतलब government ने वो सारे काम किए हैं, लोकसभा में पास हुआ, राज्यसभा में पास हुआ, प्रेसिडेंट एसेंट हुआ, सब कुछ हुआ और एक लॉ बना. So the law is made by the procedure established by the law has been followed. But should that be followed? No, because it is injustice, it is unfair. So actually what Indian system of judiciary, the Indian judiciary system was doing earlier only was focus was on that how law was made. If it was law is made through a proper channel, it was made through procedure established by the law, it means it is correct. I'll explain you a very famous case, that is A.K. Gopalan case. When the law of detention was there, that anybody can detain. So at that time, A.K. Gopalan, when approached Supreme Court has said that since law is made under procedure established by the law, so it is correct and you are entitled for the punishment. Okay. When it happened in 1950, A.K. Gopalan, very famous case. You can visit this case in polity. When we talk about due process of law, it was happening. This case was discussed in 1976. This was a very famous case of Maneka Gandhi case. When Maneka Gandhi passport was seized and she was not allowed to go abroad. This was during emergency. So she approached to the court and she said that her fundamental right was violated and the law which is made is not fair or something against due process of law. Supreme Court agreed and said that it only procedure established by law is not correct. If due process of law is not followed, then that is unconstitutional, and allowed Maneka Gandhi to visit abroad. So these four terms you have to remember when you read fundamental rights in the polity: equality before law, equal protection of law, due process of law, and procedure established by the law. Okay. And very famous case, Maneka Gandhi and A.K. Gopalan, a defining case or historical moment of Indian polity. Okay, so this was the answer A. Moving to the next topic. Recently, oil vapor, that is in August, was in the news. What is it? It is an eco-friendly technology for the remediation of oil sludge and oil spill. So the first answer is the correct one. No need to read other options. The first one is the correct one. Oil japping technology used to get rid of oil from the surface. Oil japping is a bioremedial technique involving the use of oil japping bacteria. So this was in the news. Moving to the next topic. Consider the following statement about ethanol as an alternative fuel. It is prepared by the fermentation of crops and plants that are rich in sugar and have the ability to be converted into cellulose and starch. So the first one is correct one. So ethanol is prepared by this method only. It is calorific value is lower than the compared to petrol. Yes, correct. That's why it is more efficient than petrol. It is highly corrosive because of ability to absorb water. Again, it is good. So all the three is the correct. So option D will be the correct one. Okay. Moving to the next question. Okay. Consider the following statement. Pulses constitute the maximum number of crops announced under minimum support price. I hope you all know about MSP. There was 1 year protest that has been due to this MSP only. Still, government is not giving MSP on all the product. Even they announce, but all the product or all the things are not purchased on MSP. The question asked here is pulses constitute the maximum number of crop announced under minimum support price. No. Sugarcane, cotton, copra, and raw jute are the commercial crop covered under MSP. Yes, correct. So first one, second only. So C option is the correct one. Moving to the next. You can read, you can see here the center has announced MSP for 23 crops. This you can note it down because UPSC can be asked that which are the crops which is covered under MSP, and they can give you the 4 options. So you should know the name of all 23 crops which is under MSP. Okay, so this you can read it here. Moving to the next question. Saddle pass. Passage is the gap between 2 mountains so that people can cross. Seen in the news recently is located in Sikkim, Uttarakhand, Arunachal Pradesh or Ladakh. It is in Ladakh. Why it is in the news? Because in near this pass, some of the Chinese intruder has been seen by the grazier. वो जो घास जो बकरी वगैरह चराते हैं, उन्होंने कुछ चाइनीज को जो है यहाँ पे देखा है इंट्रूडर को, और उन्होंने गवर्नमेंट को इन्फॉर्म किया है. So that's why it is in the news, Saddle Pass, and it is in the Ladakh and same area where right now the tension between India and China is going on, where China is claiming to be their territory. India graziers were stopped by the Chinese army at Damhok, Ladakh. Saddle Pass is located in the Chading Ning Lung Nala track junction in Damhok in eastern Ladakh. So it is in the Ladakh. Next question is, which of the following is are not vertical of Earth Ganga? Okay, very good questions. Earth Ganga, as name suggests, Earth means Arthik. In Hindi it is Arthik, that is economic. Ganga यानी गंगा से जो इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट लिया जाएगा उसको अर्थ गंगा कहते हैं. There is so much project related to Ganga, Namami Gange, Ganga Clean Mission and all. So Earth Ganga is one of the project. Okay, but the question here is, which of the following is are not? So again, in previous classes I have also said this, sometimes you forget to see the not word and go for the correct one. So you always remember not. Zero budget natural farming, it is under Earth Ganga, so it will not be the correct because it has asked not. Monetization and reuse of soil, again it is under, so it also will be incorrect for this question. Promote the culture, heritage and tourism of Ganga, again it is wrong. Why I have means cross the all these 3 included under Earth Ganga, but question asked is not included. But since all these 3 are included, so all will be incorrect. So that is none. Okay. You can read the explanation. Earth Ganga concept is focus on the sustainable development of the Ganga and its surrounding areas by focusing on economic activities related to the river. Under Earth Ganga, government is working on 6 vertical. What are the 6 vertical of Earth Ganga? Important. The first is zero budget natural farming, which was in the option. The second is monetization and reuse of sludge and wastewater. Third is livelihood generation opportunity, that is fishing and all. The fourth is increase public participation. And the fifth is model promotes the culture heritage, that is tourism. And the lastly is model to seek to promote institutional building by empowering local administration for improved water governance. So these are the 6 vertical of Earth Ganga. Basically, government want to explore Ganga for its economical benefit. That's in the question. Next point asked is, consider the following extent about Joint River Commission. It is a bilateral working group formed by India and Bangladesh. Okay, it works for the common interest and sharing of water source, irrigation, flood and cyclone control. So yes, it is a bilateral working group. Okay, so the correct action is C. Both 1 and 2 is the correct one. So the 38th meeting of the India and Bangladesh Joint Commission was held in Delhi recently. So the main point of जो विवाद का पॉइंट है बांग्लादेश और इंडिया के बीच में, वो तीस्ता रिवर वाटर को लेके है. बांग्लादेश वांट मोर वाटर फ्रॉम तीस्ता रिवर, बट इंडिया इज नॉट means supporting this. So that's why this joint river commission was formed. It is a bilateral working group formed by India and Bangladesh, established in the Indo-Bangla Treaty Friendship, Cooperation and Peace that was signed in March 1972 and came into being in November 1972. It works for the common interest of sharing of water resource, irrigation, flood and cyclone control. So this was in the news. Next question asked is, with respect to the disqualification of member of parliament Who among them, among the following decide whether member was holding an office of profit? Option is Election Commission, President, Presiding Officer, and Supreme Court. The correct answer is President. President is one who decide about disqualification in case of office of profit. What is office of profit? If any person is holding any profitable post along with MP and MLA post, that is suppose आप किसी कंपनी के चेयरमैन हैं, आप किसी नगर निगम में कहीं और पे भी है, in that case you have to either resign from your post when you assume the office of MP, MLA or any constitutional post, you have to resign from your previous post, otherwise that will be included under office of profit. So who take decision? Decision is taken by the president. Is he take decision of his own? No, he concerned with Election Commission. So he take means concern, means you can say he takes suggestion from Election Commission, and the suggestion or you can say the instruction of Election Commission in this case is binding on president. But whatever Election Commission advised to the president, president has to follow that. So that means decision making authority is president, but advised by Election Commission. You can see here under the provision article 1021, the article 191, Constitution, and MP or MLA is barred from holding any office of profit under the central or state government. The decision of the President of India is final regarding disqualification of a member either house of the parliament. However, the President does not take the opinion of the Election Commission before taking a decision. So President does take, sorry, does not, I have spelled, does take the opinion of the Election Commission before taking the decision on disqualification. Yani ki President must take, you can say, the decision of Election Commission, and that is binding. Okay, so that's what I am trying to highlight. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statement about tomato flu. It is in the news. Why it is, first of all, why it is called tomato flu? Because the symptom redness which appears on your body is just like a redness of tomato. That's why it is called tomato flu. It is a highly contagious, spread through close contact. It is a life-threatening virus. There is no specific drugs for this flu. So the correct answer for this is 1 and 3 only. It is a life-threatening virus. No, it can be cured by simple antibiotic. Recently, the Union Health Ministry issued an advisory on tomato flu, asking the state to take measures to prevent its spread. It is highly contagious and spread through a close contact. The first one is the right. Infants and young children are also prone to this. Okay, statement 2 is incorrect, because it is non-life-threatening virus and could lead to a serious consequences by spreading to adults as well. Okay. Moving on to the next question. In which amongst the following case did Supreme Court ensure that convicted criminals don't contest elections? Okay, the question asked is कि जो एक बार convicted हो गए हैं अपने criminals के record को लेके, वो election contest नहीं करेंगे. So we have several examples of cases. Kehar Singh versus Union of India. What this case is all about? Who is Kehar Singh? He was involved in Indira Gandhi assassination. So this one is not right. So Kehar Singh was involved in Indira Gandhi assassination, and it was his. So this is the wrong. Again, it's Kelhato Holohan versus this one. This one is incorrect. Why? Because this case is related to power of speaker. This case is related to power of speaker. As you know that right now there is fight going on in Supreme Court between Shiv Sena faction, and in that it is said that it is not the power of speaker to decide this on the disqualification or something on the, that is 10th schedule anti-defection law, which I have already discussed in previous part. You can go through the previous current affairs sessions, and there I have discussed about anti-defection law. So this case is related to anti-defection law. In this case, it was challenged that speaker should not have right for this, but Supreme Court has said that since speaker is whole and soul of parliament, he is taking care, so he should have that right. So in case we can say that in this case, Supreme Court hold the right of speaker in anti-defection law. Again, the Lily Thomas versus Union of India. This is the correct. In this case, Supreme Court has stated that anyone who is convicted criminal will not contest election, and he has to immediately resign from his post. That is, if he is convicted for 2 years, he has to immediately resign from his post. Earlier, there was a sub-clause 8.1. Under this, what was there? The People of Representation Act 8.1 say that if anyone is convicted, he is given 3 months of briefing period. That means breathing period, you can say 3 months. And in this 3 months, he can appeal to the court. And if court accepted his appeal, he will not be disqualified or something like that. But this has been, you can say, removed, and now he has been immediately removed. If he is convicted, he has been immediately removed. If court changes his decision, then he can back in the session. Okay. Same Lok Parari law was also related to this only extension of this, but the first decision Supreme Court take this in Lily Thomas versus Union of India. So option C is the correct one. Next question asked is, consider the following statement about National Family Health Survey. It is a large-scale multi-round survey conducted on representative sample of household through India. Okay, correct. International Institute of Professional Science in Mumbai is the nodal agency, the responsible for providing coordination and technical guidance for the survey. I think both is correct. Yes, bilkul. Both is correct in this. Next question is, with the reference to communication technology difference, this you might be knowing as you बहुत सारे लोग मोबाइल यूज करते होंगे और उनको ये पता होगा जो LTE होता है और वोल्टे होता है. The first option is LTE is commonly marketed as 3G, volte is commonly marketed as advanced 3G. No, it is 4G. You know that earlier we were using 3G. When 4G introduced, there was a sign of LTE in our mobile. And when again this voice call, the video call have been introduced, then sign of voltage there. So LTE is data only technology, voltage voice only technology. No, these again both are incorrect. So neither one, neither two. Voltage, video also. So you can read the explanation. Statement is not correct. LTE is a data only technology, voltage both data and voice. Okay. Next question asked is CSA6 seen in the news related to regulation of cell cycle, internet protocol, cyber security mechanism, trainer aircraft. The correct one is regulation of cell cycle. It is related to biology. Human body cell, you know that cell is a small building block, then tissue, then organ, and then finally organ system. So this is related to regulation of cell cycle, so that health cycle of the human being is can be. So this was in the news. You can say newly identified gene could due to treatment of fungal infection in immunocompromised patient. The gene could be CSA6, has been identified in applicants fungal species infamous for causing high rates of morbidity and mortality under certain immunocompromised condition, such as AIDS during cancer treatment and all. So it is impacting person who is infected with AIDS and all. Okay. Considering the following statement, alternative investment fund. Okay. The question asks about alternative investment fund and the statement given regarding this. The first statement is, it is a fund of fund that invest in asset classes which include bonds, stock and cash. No, incorrect. It is invested apart from this, not on bond, not on stock, not on cash. So alternative investment fund is not invested in bond, stock or something like that. So the first option is incorrect. Second is, alternative investment funds are regulated together by Reserve Bank of India and Security Exchange Board of India. No, it is regulated by only SEBI, that is Security Exchange Board of India, not RBI. RBI has nothing to do with it. So both are incorrect in this, neither one, neither. Okay. So you can read the explanation part. SEBI is Titan oversees norms for alternative investment and VC fund. It is funds of fund that invest in asset other than bond, stock and cash, that I have already explained. AIF consists of investment fund that are privately pooled that invest in private equity, venture capital, managed fund, etc. Moving on to the next topic. It is a tradition theatre from Karnataka. It is a temple art form that depicts mythological stories and Purana. It is performed with mask. This type of question is surely asked, at least one or two questions. The features is given and you have been asked about that, about whom we are talking. Okay, so the feature is given. It is a traditional theatre form in Karnataka. First, art that depicts mythological story of Purana. Second feature, performed with massive headgears, elaborate facial makeup, and vibrant costumes and ornament. So the option asked here is it is related to which? So the Yakshgan is the correct one. So D. So it is related to, question is related to art and culture, and the correct option is Yakshgan, that is D. Yakshgan is a traditional theater form of Karnataka. It is temple art that depicts mythological story and Puranas. It is performed with massive headgears, elaborate facial makeup, and vibrant costumes and ornament. Usually recited in Kannada, it is also performed in Malayalam as usually recited in Karnataka. So this was in the news. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statement. Sea ice have high albedo. What is albedo? The term albedo, first I'll explain. Albedo simply means reflectivity. What reflectivity means to say? Suppose it is a ice, and when sunlight falls on this, the amount it reflected back. You know that whatever sunlight is coming to the surface, most of the portion is reflected back to the atmosphere. So albedo, the term used for the reflectivity, the amount or the higher reflectivity a surface has is called high albedo. The first option is sea ice has high albedo. Yes, sea ice have high albedo compared to other ice. Second option is territorial albedo is the measurement of earth albedo. Okay, yes, both 1 and 2 is correct. Albedo is the fraction of light that reflected by a body and surface, thus measure the reflectivity of the surface. Sea ice has high albedo. Terrestrial albedo is measure of earth albedo, and the earth terrestrial albedo is roughly 0.31. So this detail you need not to read, just you need to read that sea ice has high albedo, that is higher reflectivity rate than other ice. Okay. Next question asked is Joravar, recently seen in the news, is an aircraft carrier of the Indian Navy, indigenous design and developed light tanks. So B is the correct one. It is legendary Joravar Singh Kahaluria. So on his name, this tank was named, and warfare and several under Dogra King Raja Gulab Singh Jammu. So this was a light tank named Joravar. Next question asked is, which of the following statements are correct with respect to Gabon? It is located in West Coast Africa and equator passes through it. It is India's largest trade partner in African continent. No, India's largest trade partner is Nigeria. In African trade continent, largest trade partner is Nigeria. So this one is wrong. The correct answer is 1A only. This was a CT. Which was the following? Gabon is a CT. Last question of today's session is, consider the following statement. Pet coke is a carbon-rich solid material that is a residue from a distillation. It is known for higher energy content and cheaper than the coal. The option asked is the both A and 1, 2. Pet coke is a carbon-rich solid material that is reside from oil distillations, and it is known for higher energy content and is cheaper than the coal. Indian companies are importing a significant amount of petroleum coke from Venezuela in the wake of increased global coal price and caused due to Ukraine war. Pet coke is a carbon-rich solid material that is residue from oil distillation and is known for higher energy content and cheaper than the coal. India is one of the biggest consumers of petroleum coke in the world and used for import large quantity of pet coke from the USA, Saudi Arabia, and importing from Venezuela. Okay, so let's start with MCQ. So our first question is, if RBI decides to adopt an exceptionist monetary policy, which of the following would it not do? The question you need to focus, the question is asking it not do. It means गलत क्या है ये पूछा गया इस क्वेश्चंस में. First we have to understand why RBI adopt expansionist monetary policy. It generally do so, or RBI does so when there is a you can say scarcity of liquidity of money in the market. So generally to increase liquidity of the money in the market, or you can say to increase the purchasing power of the employer or buyer, increase purchasing power of the buyer. main aim is to increase purchasing power. So to increase purchasing power, RBI used to launch such policies, or you can say RBI used to take exceptionist measure to control the economy or the market. Now the point is, since there is already less money in the market, so what RBI should do so that bank can lender more loans to the public, or you can say that to increase the purchasing power of the employer, or you can say purchasing power of the citizen. So we have the option cut and optimize the statutory liquidity ratio. It is SLR. So what SLR means? SLR का जो सिंपल मतलब होता है, it is the amount of money which is kept by commercial bank in security. मतलब commercial bank को कुछ पैसा जो total deposit का होता है वो अपने पास रखना पड़ता है. Suppose it is roughly around 10% is the amount that a bank has to keep with itself. They cannot use that money for lending. You know that how banks earn profit? Simple method is, suppose you are a bank depositor. You deposit some amount, suppose 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs in the bank, and banks give you an interest of 2% or 4%, something like that. And now suppose a person B approaches to bank and he need that amount or some amount for the loan purpose. Now the interest which bank will give him for the loan is around 8%. So this difference of 4% is the only earning bank earns, or you can say the only way bank earn money. So the point is that cut and optimize statutory liquidity ratio. So what I have explained, that SLR is the point where bank has to keep some amount with itself which it cannot use for lending purpose. So if that amount is reduced, suppose 15% is RBI mandate that a bank has to keep with itself and cannot use for lending. Suppose RBI reduces to 10%. So the rest 5% bank can use to flow that money in the market, or can use to give loan to the needy people. So in this way, liquidity will increase, and in this way, economic situation will improve. But would it not do? So the first one it will do. So first one is not right. Second is increase the marginal standing facility rate. So the correct option will be this only. So first of all, what is marginal standing facility rate? So it is a amount on which a central bank, that is RBI, give money to the you can say to the commercial bank. Now if you read this term, that is bank rate, repo rate, and this marginal facility rate, we have three terms here: SLR, next is MSF, next is repo rate, and next is bank rate. So all these are the important terms you must read. Bank rate. So what does it mean? This bank rate is a long-term money given to you can say commercial bank or domestic bank by central bank. Okay. Suppose for 1 year, 2 year, central bank has given suppose 2000 crore rupees to a bank, so that bank can utilize it for the lending purpose and can return it to the central bank after it gains revenue. So this is a bank rate. So it is used for the long term. Meaning almost same, but it is used for the long term. Next, coming back to the repo rate. Again, it is also you can say repo rate is also a bank rate only. Repo rate, if we talk about, it is a rate that applied to a loan given to bank that are looking to meet their short term. So, but repo rate is for the short term. Bank rate is for the long term. Repo rate is the short term. And if we talk about MSF, it is a overnight need. Immediately needed. So everyone means all these have different rates. Suppose if your bank need immediately money and it approaches to a central agency like central bank RBI will give it loan, but it will say that I will give you under MSF because you immediately need it and overnight you need it. If bank is needed for short term like 1 month, 2 months, again RBI will give, but it will give under repo rate. Okay. And if bank is reading for a long term, like suppose 2 years, 3 years, then at that time a bank rate apply. So all these three terms almost meaning is similar. That is a loan or the amount is given to the bank by central agency, but slightly different. Where MSF is you can say overnight, And if repo rate is short term, and if you talk about bank rate, it is a long term. So that is the difference. So the point is, if government want to take expansionist monetary policy, it has to decrease everything. It has not to increase everything. So the point second is talking about increasing. So this is the wrong. So this point is the, I mean, this is the right for this answer. The correct option will be 2 only, that is B option would be the correct one. Moving to the next one. So the option, you can say the correct option is the B. With respect to survey, logistic is across different survey, which of the statement is not true? First of all, we have to understand what is logistic is across different survey. That means that to ease the business of logistics, that is moving, transportation business, you can say simply in simple word. So the first point, it is written here that if you can see the correct, it was released by Union Commerce and Industry Ministry. B option is the lead survey assess viewpoint of various users and stakeholders across the, it is right. First one is also right, you can say. B also right. Gujarat retained its top slot. Okay, yes, it is also right. Gujarat is the means in good in logistic is of different survey, and Delhi stand at the top among other UTs. No, it is Jammu and Kashmir which stand top amongst UTs. So the it is asked not true. So the fourth one is not true. So it would be the only correct answer. The option D is the correct one. What does mean logistic is across different survey? It is a how you supply or transport your business, because it is an important part of any business that logistics should be improved. India is doing like you might have read about the tweet from Ashwani Vaishnav that in the train which is carrying goods, their speed is increasing slowly, or they are increasing their speed and all. 2 engines vehicles is used in that, so that transport or goods can be carried from one place to other place in shorter time and all. So government is taking effort regarding that. Moving to the next question. Which of the following pairs are correctly matched with the respect to Ambedkar circuit? You know that government is developing so many tourist circuit, or you can say the religious circuit. So under one among them is Ambedkar circuit. The option here asked is which of the following are not correctly matched. Suppose it is the you can say the places related to Ambedkar. The first Diksha Bhumi is correct. It is Nagpur. Next is Jan Bhumi. It is again correct. Mo. Next is Shiksha Bhumi. It is wrong, because Ambedkar Shiksha and all has been in London. So it is not in India. So that's why it is incorrect. And next is Mahaparinirman Bhumi. That is Delhi. So it is correct. So all the A, B, and D are the correctly matched, and C is not correctly matched. The option C would be the correct answer for this question. Okay. Moving to the next question. You can see the complete diagram through which we can understand the Ambedkar circuit. Next question, consider the following aspect with respect to UAPA. You know that it is a law, you can say a draconian law, which means which can detain you or something like. Individuals are exempted from the provision of UAPA if they have been members before the organization was declared a terrorist organization. An organization shall be deemed to be involved in terrorism if it commits or participates in act of terrorism, prepares for terrorism, and promotes, encourages terrorism, or it's otherwise involved in terrorism. Even if the person is not convinced for being associated with terrorist organization, proceeds of terrorism can be forfeited for the central government and state government. All of the above. If we just a second, question asked here is consider the following with respect to UAPA. And first is individual are exempted from the provision of UAPA if they have not member before the organization was declared terrorist. Yes, correct. An organization shall be deemed involvement in terrorism. Okay. So this was, you can say the D. All of the above is the correct one. But we have to understand that a recent verdict of Supreme Court has effect on this question. Currently, this option D is the correct one. But recently, just a day before, Supreme Court has given a verdict. Since we are covering the news of September, so according to that, it is right. But I would like to focus your on option first. It is written that individuals are exempted from the provision of UAPA if they have members before the organization was declared terrorist organization. Now, what Supreme Court has given a verdict, even just a day before yesterday only, that even if he was a member and he have not committed the crime, and if he is a member of some organization which was declared under UAPA, he should also be punished. So there is a recent verdict, and today again revision petition has been filed against Supreme Court verdict. Actually, in 2011, Supreme Court has given a verdict that a person belonging to an organization, it should not be held guilty if that organization is guilty. So at that time, Supreme Court in 2011, they had given the verdict. Central approach to Supreme Court, जो भारत सरकार था उसने सुप्रीम कोर्ट को अप्रोच किया और कहा कि ये गलत है, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने रिवाइज कर दिया पिटीशन just day before yesterday only and said that if a person that is involved with the organization, if organization is put under UAPA, then that person should also be put under UAPA. Okay, but again today a revised petition has been filed, so this news might be changed when you are going to attempt UPSC exam. So keep eyes on that. For the September point of view, all of the above is correct. If we talk about now, only second and third are correct. Moving to the next question. Recently in the news, the term tokenization is related to. What does tokenization mean? It is related to data security. And what does it mean? First, we have to understand. Actually, we or you both are using ATM and all, and we know that so many ATM cloning and something like that is taking place. So there is a threat in which the details of ATM is leaked to the public. So in some scenario, a tokenization is introduced in which actual detail of ATM is hid and some encrypted tokenization code is given. So accordingly, so that your details, your code and PIN code, these all will not be revealed. So the cloning or something which has been taking place for ATM, that will not be done. So it is related to data security. So the correct answer is C, that is data security. Moving to the next question. With relation to India-US relation, which of the following statements are true? First is 123 agreement. It is a famous agreement which has taken place between, you can say, then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and then President of America, that is George W. Bush. So between those two great leaders, this agreement has been taken place. So it is related to Government of India and Government of United States of America. So correct, first one is correct. BACA is a Pact of Communication Agreement proposed for geospatial cooperation between Ministry of Defense of Government of India and National Geospatial Agency of the US Department of Defense. Yes, both 1 and 2 is the correct. Okay, so the both is the correct in this. Moving on to the next question. India's first ever night sky sanctuary. Okay, so it is located in the which of the following place? The option A is the correct one. It is located in Hanle. Okay, it is placed in Ladakh. So option A is the correct one. This place is developed as a night life, you can say, as you know that it is a prominent tourist spot. So due to that, it is developed. The United Ministry of Science and Technology has undertaken a setup in first ever night sanctuary in Ladakh, and the proposed dark sky reserve will be located in Hanle, Ladakh, as a part of Changthang Wildlife Sanctuary, and it will boost astrotourism in India and will be one of the world highest located site for optical, infrared and gamma ray telescope. So that's why it is in the news, so as it was in the September news. Next question is Justice Amitawa Rao Committee, which was recently in the news, was constituted for which of the following? Jail reform. The correct answer is the jail reform. You know that two reforms which need or need of the hour in India, one is jail reform and another is police reform. So jail reform, because you know that the conditions of so many under trial or who has not got the bail or even got the bail but cannot submit the surety amount and all. So they are kept under, you can say, very pathetic conditions. So this need to be improved and jail reform should be done. So jail reform is the correct one. Justice Amitabh Rao Committee recommendation in 2008, the Supreme Court considered 3-member committee to be headed by former apex court judge Amitabh Rao and to look into the aspect of jail reform across the country and make recommendation on several aspects, including overcrowding in prison. A special fast track court should be set up. Even you might have heard news in the COVID that all the under trial prisoner has been released from the jail. Why? Because it was a chances that COVID will spread and it is so overcrowded that government has to release them or government has to free them. Okay, so this Justice Amitabh Rao Committee has looking into that. A special fast track should be set up to deal exclusively with the PT offense been pending more than 5 years. Further accused person, sometimes you know that in India it happens that punishment for that crime is 5 years, but they are in the jail for last 7 years and just their hearing is not commenced in the court. So this is due to the pendency of judicial system. So that also need to be reformed. A special fast track court should be set up in the deal exclusively with the PT offenses. Further, accused person who are charged with PT offense and granted bail but who are unable to arrange surety should be released on a personal recognition PR bond. Okay, so this was in the news and it was related to jail reform. Next question is with reference to green bond. What is green bond? It is a amount sanctioned for the environment related work. So that is a green bond. Okay, so it is a question asked that the International Monetary Fund is a major issuer of green bond. No, the first one is incorrect. The World Bank is the major issuer of the green bond. The second option is green bond are issued to exclusively fund project having positive environment impact. So B is the correct one. So option B is the correct one in this. Moving to the next, you can see the detail. A green bond is a type of fixed income instrument that is specifically earmarked to raise money for climate and environmental projects. The World Bank is a major issuer. So there it was International Monetary Fund was there, but it is World Bank which is a major issuer of that. Statement 2 is correct. Green bond is issued by the company, country, and monetary organization to exclusively fund project that is positive environment. So the green bond is for the environment project only. Moving to the next question. Okay, next question is to which of the following published the World Social Protection Report? So it is published by International Labour Organization. So such type of question is also asked in the exam. So whenever you read any report like happiness index you are reading or something like hunger index you are reading, so you must read the nodal agency which released that and even the parameters on which parameters it is released. So these two things you need to focus. The UPSC asked these two things. So correct answer is here is International Labour Organization who published the World Social Protection Report, that how country has performed during you can say COVID duration and how country control their poverty and all. So this World Social Protection Report provides a global overview of recent development in social protection system and examine the impact of COVID-19 pandemic. Based on the new robust data, it offers a broad range of global, regional, and country statistics on social protection coverage and the benefit provided related to public expenditure. So that's why it is important. You need to learn the nodal agency which released any data. Next question is Dharamsala Declaration 2022 is related to which? Climate change mitigation, tourism, combating terrorists, and disaster management. You know that Dharamsala has a very good scenic beauty, so it is related to tourism only, not terrorism, tourism. And you know that India has a lot of scope of tourism and earning from tourism. So India is developing, as we have already read about Ambedkar circuit, so many religious circuit. You might have heard about Ganga Vilas. So all these are in the news and all these are just to boost the tourism. Next is on the occasion of World Tourism Day, Dharamsala Declaration aims to recognize India's role in contributing towards global tourism as well as focusing on recovery by also promoting domestic tourism, which has been overlooked for long. It aims to pull India out of the pandemic adverse effect and push India tourism sector to the pre-pandemic level by 2024. It also aims to position India as a major tourist destination in upcoming G20 meeting. You know that G20 meeting is right now going on. Recently, it has been concluded in Amritsar, that is in 19th and 20th March. It concluded in Amritsar. So India is trying to, you can say, boost its tourism so that more and more tourists can visit India, as it will directly boost the economy without any much effort by government. Okay. And we have already so many scenic beauties, mountains and all. Next question is with reference to Ram Setu, which is recently in news, consider the following. It is a 48-kilometer bridge-like structure between India and Myanmar. The structure has been significant for both Hindu and Muslim. Yeah, it is a significant for both Hindu and Muslim. You might have heard about Ram Setu and you know that it is significant for Hindu. But why it is significant for Muslim? Because it was stated that there was a person, Adam, and he has disobeyed the God, and he reached a mountain in Sri Lanka, and on 1 feet he stand for 1,000 years just to repentance of that God. So it was just a story, but it is an Islamic story. So it is related to Islam also, and it is related to Hinduism also. So the option C is the correct. Okay. Next point. Consider the statement and answer of the following question. Dark matter attracts and hold galaxy together. Large-scale experiments like Xenon IT have been designed directly to detect dark matter. Now, what is a dark matter? It is an unexplored energy, which you can say that galaxy and other terrestrial system, or you can say that sky has. So it is still unexplored. The dark attracts hold galaxy together, and large-scale experiments like have been designed directly to detect dark matter. So this experiment has been designed. This Xenon IT experiment, 1T experiment, has been designed by Italy. But still, a lot of things need to be explored, and which is still unexplored, you can say, in that. Okay. So moving to the next, so option C was the correct one. Moving to the next. Which of the following statement is not true about central bank digital currency? CBDC is the legal tender issued by central bank in a digital form. CBDC is the same as fiat currency. Yes, correct. What is fiat currency? Fiat currency is issued by government. It has a government backing, but it do not have some physical backing like gold and all. You know that every year government prints a physical currency, which we generally use, like 2,000 rupees note and all. But it have a physical backing. What does physical backing mean? You cannot print this in unlimited manners, because you have to print that much only according to gold reserves and various other reserves. Otherwise, every country will print so much money, but that will only reduce to the lost in the value of money and all. So this fiat currency can be printed by the government, since it has a government backing, government assurance. Sometimes some people say that cryptocurrency is also fiat currency. No, since cryptocurrency do not have government backing, so we do not call cryptocurrency as a fiat currency. Fiat currency has government backing, but no any physical backing like gold and all. So option B is correct. The CBDC is also a type of fiat currency only. Okay. CBDC is the legal tender issued by a central bank in a digital form, and it is the same fiat currency and is exchangeable 1-to-1 with the fiat currency, only form is different. So it is just a other name, or you can say other form, but CBDC and fiat currency is the same. Moving to the next question. Consider the below statement answer. A company or business is said to be over leveraged. Over leveraged matlab so many debt. It has so many debt, then we call it over leveraged. If it has an unsustainability and high debt against its operating cash flow and equity, a company that is less leveraged is better placed to manage situation with which revenues fall. When a company is over leveraged, it may lend even more normal time. Which of the following are not correct? The question is asked that which is the following is not correct. It is not asked about correct. It is not correct. The option C, that is 2 and 3, is not correct. When a company is less leveraged, better place to manage situation in which revenues fall, and when company is over leveraged, it may lend even more than normal time. Moving to the next question. Consider the statement below, answer following questions about PFA are used to make fluoropolymer coating that can resist heat, oil, stain, grease and water. Second is PFA are widely used a long-term lasting chemical component of which breaks down the very slowly over time. And PFA can be present. It is a chemical. You can say PFA is a chemical which is widely used nowadays. And the option 2 and 3 is the correct option in this. PFA are a man-made. Sorry, all of the correct. PFA are a man-made chemical used to make non-stick cookware, water repellent, clothing and stain-resistant fabric, cosmetics, firefighting foam, and many other products that resist grease, water, and oil. Can be migrate to the soil, water, air during their production and use. Since most PFA do not break down, they remain in the environment for long period of time. Next question, consider the following statement about NPT. You know that it is NPT only, which is said that India is not getting permanent membership of UN. It is due to NPT only because India has not signed on this treaty, that is NPT. The question here asks, the treaty was signed in 1968 and entered into force in 1970. The treaty does not affect the right of state parties to develop, produce, use and nuclear energy for peaceful purpose. Yes, right. If you have signed on NPT deal, it does not affect your right to use nuclear as a peaceful use. That is, you can use nuclear as an energy, but you cannot make nuclear bomb and all, but you can use nuclear as a energy and all. So next is India is one of the only 5 countries that either did not sign or NPT or but withdrew. So all of the above is correct. India has not signed on NPT, and the reason India is giving behind this that first, our enemy country should sign on that. Second, India is saying that the country who are advocating for NPT had already secured themselves, and it means that they have already you can say secure themselves by creating their nuclear power. But India still has not created their nuclear power to its fullest. So India is saying that we are not going to sign on NPT until our enemy country, that is Pakistan, also sign on that. And the other major country who are saying that they also should destroy all the nuclear power they have, so that it would be equal, and then I can sign on that. But India has, you can say the 1, 2, 3 agreement which you have studied. India has find another way out to make nuclear energy, as it is a need of the hour. We need nuclear energy for the electricity and all. So India has signed deal with US to prepare to make nuclear energy and without signing on NPT. Again is parties treaty, and the NPT is a multilateral treaty aimed to limiting the spread of nuclear weapon, including 3 elements: non-proliferation or disarmament, peaceful use of nuclear energy. Okay, so nuclear energy or nuclear weapon should not be made. So this was the major aim of NPT. Consider the following statement about Article 29. You know that it is about protection of minority. It is in the both, that is protection of lingual minority also and religious minority also. So the option first is it provides that any section of citizen residing in any part of India having a distinct language, script or culture of its own shall have right to conserve the same. Yes, first one is the correct one. It grants protection to only religious minority. No, it does not grant protection to only religious minority. It also grants protection to language minority also. Suppose a person Konkani is living in Mumbai, so it is a minority language, so they should also be grant protection. So it talks about both religious minority as well as lingual minority also. So second one, the question asked here is Article 20 are correct. So the first is only correct one here. It provides that any section of citizen residing in any part of India having a distinct language, script or culture shall have the right to conserve the same. It grants protections to both religious minority as well as linguistic minority. You know that government is also spending so much amount of fund for the linguistic minority, so that they can means they can spread their languages and can study in their own languages and all. So this was in the news. Moving to the next, consider the following statement about carbon monotube. You might have heard about carbon allotropes and all. So it is about carbon monotube. You know, carbon is a very important you can say materials which we generally use. So carbon nanotubes are cylindrical molecule consisting of rolled up sheet of single layer carbon atoms, namely graphene. You might have heard about graphite, diamond, which is made up of carbon. carbon nanotubes are used in application that requires high strength electrical conductivity, thermal conductivity compared to other conventional material. In this case, it will be D. That is neither one, neither two is correct, because the first statement, I'll show you why both are incorrect. The carbon nanotube of cylindrical molecule consisting of rolled up sheet and single layer carbon atom, namely graphene. The question here is incorrect. So you have to focus on this, which is incorrect. Since both are correct, so neither 1 and 2 would be the answer in this case, and both are the correct statement. Moving to the last question of the day, the doctrine of essentiality is often used by the court in relation to which of the following article of Indian Constitution? 17, 19, 25, Article 20. So if we talk about this, the correct option is Article 25. Now, what is doctrine of essentiality? इसमें सिंपल सी बात है कि जब we have to maintain balance between law and religion set of rule. Religion have its own set of rule and law have its own course. Every time when Supreme Court heard about such type of cases where a conflict between law, that is law of the land, and the conflict between the law of religion. So in this case, Supreme Court always talk about doctrine of essentiality. That means whether it is essential in a law, it is essential in religion or not. Or you can say that religion will not be survived without that particular practice, or it is you can say it essential practice in that special religion. Suppose we talk about Sikhism. In Sikhism, you know that there are 5 things which is allowed. That is Kacha, Kadha, Karpa, Kirpan, Case and all. So they are allowed. Even in exam center also they are allowed with that, because it is their essential practice which has been preached by their God or something like that, we can say. But if we talk about hijab, the famous case from which this question is asked, in hijab it is not mandatory. Even if some Muslim girls wear hijab and some do not wear hijab, so it is not an essential practice of Islam. So that in that case you have to follow the law, or you have to follow the law of university, or you have to follow the ethics code of that college. And if dress code is allowed in that college, you have to wear the dress code, you have not to wear the hijab. Similarly, in case of triple talaq also, what Supreme Court has said that it is not the doctrine of essentiality of religion. Even some follow it, some do not follow it. So in that case where it is not absolutely essential in the religion, there the law of land will prevail. If it is absolutely essential in the religion, there Article 25, that is dharma ka adhikar, right to religion, that is a fundamental right, that will prevail. So Supreme Court is trying to make balance between right of religion, or you can say that is between fundamental right and law of religion. Sometimes Supreme Court takes the you can say go with the religion law, and sometimes Supreme Court go with the law of the land. When it is essential in the religion, Supreme Court go for the religion purpose, and if it is not essential, Supreme Court always takes side of the law. Similarly, it has happened in case of hijab, where Karnataka High Court has said that it is not essential, or it is not essential to wear hijab in Muslim community. Case is under hearing in Supreme Court. So we will get a clear picture when Supreme Court give its verdict. So we will discuss 20 MCQ, and where it is needed, I will explain that topic also. So just give me 2 minutes. Okay, we will start. Okay, so let's start with our first question. Okay, the first question state here, with reference to monetary policy, consider the following statement. The first statement is that Union Finance Minister is the chairperson, and the second statement, the decision of the MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee, are taken on the basis of majority, with the governor having casting vote in the case of a tie. So what would be the right answer? Anyone who will solve with me this question? or who are appearing for 2023? Anyone is there who can explain me or just tell me the answer? Okay, since no one is answering, so let me explain you. What first of all we have to study what we have to understand what is Monetary Policy Committee. It is a committee which is formed to temper the inflation. If inflation is going on or inflation is going on, so to control that, to check that this policy is formed. You know that inflation can be only controlled by two ways. Either you take money out of the market, or you can say flood market with the money. So depend on the situation, which situation is arises. If it is required to money to be put in the market, you have to put the money in the market, or you have to suck the money from the market. So government adopt these two type of policy. If government trying to take back money from the market, okay, then government will reduce, like government will increase bank rate, repo rate, LSR. So these term you can study in the economics. What is bank rate? Or you can visit our previous videos of current affair only. I have explained everything. What is bank rate? What is SLR? What is repo rate? What is MSF? Everything was means explained in that. I'm not going in detail today, but just simple term we have to understand that Monetary Policy Committee, what they do, they generally control the inflation. How? They just reduce the money inflation in the market, so money flow in the market. The first option here, the Union Finance Minister is the chairperson, is the wrong. The RBI. Okay, so RBI governor, the chairperson. RBI governor is the chairperson. So it was the wrong. Okay. Next is the decision of this. So this one is the right. So only two. So two only is the right. Moving to the next question. Okay, so those who will get the PDF then can read in details. Okay, I have explained in the simple term. You can read in the details. Get the PDF from Sanjay if you are not getting that. Which of the following is our core industry? Okay, you know that there are 8 core industry in India. Anyone can tell me the name of 8 core industry in India? We have options: crude oil, natural gas, and coal. So these all are core industry. So the first 3 is these. Anyone can tell me other 5 industry which are core industry? Okay, refinery product. Next is refinery product. Cement. Anyone else can explain? Or electricity. Fertilizers. And last is steel. So these are 8. 3 to 5 I have written, and these 3. So these mainly contribute in the GDP. So that's why we call them the 8 core industries of India. So question asked here is that which are the core industries? So all are the right answer in this. Okay. So this type of question is asked by UPSC. Okay. So you can note it down. Okay. Now the next question is about Jurong rover. Rover is a wanderer. The meaning of rover means wanderer. And the question asked here is, Jovan rover has peered under the surface of Mars and has found evidence of 2 huge flood-shaped landscape. And Jurong rover is an initiative of which country? So it is a space initiative. And where it was sent, can anyone tell me? The correct answer is China. And this has been sent on Mars. This Zhuang river has been sent on Mars rover, and there it has discovered that the Mars plane has been has faced 2 huge flood and shaped the landscape. So this was explained about Mars. So first you have to understand it is the China mission on Mars. China mission on Mars. And there it has discovered something which is China mission on Mars. So the correct answer would be China. Moving to the next question. Anti-Semitism recently seen in the news is related to, question asked is anti-Semitism related against the or it is asked that related to any form of prejudice against the Jewish people, the first option. unilateral act of a state through which it proclaims its sovereignty over the territory of another state, hatred and prejudice against the religion of Islam, movement for the self-determination of statehood for the Jewish people. Okay, the first one is the correct. Any form of against Jewish people. This term was introduced by Hitler at that time, and whole Europe was talking in the same language at that 1880. Okay, now so the same term it is asked in the questions. Okay, if you see the explanation part, anti-Semitism refer to any form of prejudice against the Jewish people. Hence, the statement 1 is correct. The term anti-Semitism was coined by 1879 by German agitator Wilhelm Marr to designate the anti-Jewish campaign in Central Europe. You might have studied the famous gas chamber of Hitler and all. And the term itself is a that you can just designate language group, not a race. So anti-Semitism can also describe prejudice against the speaker of the Semitic language. So this was related to hatred against Jews. You know the famous Hitler and all, everything under that. Okay, moving to the next topic, again a topic of polity. Consider the following statement. Under Article 340 of the Constitution, the President may specify the caste, race, or tribe. Okay, the next option here is the Article 341 provide the appointment of a commission to investigate the. Okay, so what here it is just a reverse. This the Article 340, that means this explain this and this explain this. That is Article 340 said that appointment of commission to investigate the conditions of backward classes. So backward classes conditions comes under Article 340. This will go to this. I mean, reverse, the explanation is reverse in this. Means whatever explanation is given to Article 340 will be the explanation of Article 341, and whatever the article explanation is given to Article 340 will be the explanation of article opposite of that. So neither one, neither two. So both are incorrect, as it was a reverse explanation. You can read here Article 340 of the Constitution what it is stated, and Article 340 what is stated. Such type of question is going to ask in the UPSC. Generally, UPSC do not ask article based question. But in case it asks article based question, the confusing article they can ask, like 340, 341. So it is a confusing article. So they may ask that which is related to which. Sometimes they ask about CAG and Attorney General. You know that Attorney General under which article and CAG under which article. So this they can ask. Okay, like 76 is article related to Attorney General and 148 article is related to CAG. So they will reverse. They will say that 148 is related to Attorney General and 76 is related to CAG. So they will reverse you to just check the knowledge whether you have read both the topic or not. So similar way they have checked you your knowledge here. Okay. Moving to the next, with reference to the engineering, procurement, and construction, consider the following statement. It is a type of public funding model. Correct. It is a type of public funding model. Next is, in this type of a model, full freedom to plan, design, and construction is given to the private contractor and core. Yeah, both 1 and 2 is correct. A lot of Western countries are operating on this model only. Okay, so India is also adapting this. Okay, only one word is missing, M. Okay, it should be EPMC. Some of the model operate on this EPMC and some of the model operate on EPC. What M stands for? Management. Okay, so if you adopt EPC model, it will be engineering, procurement, and construction. And if you adopt EPMC model, it will be management also included in that. In EPC model, who will do management? You will do management, or government will do management. Okay, or whosoever is adopting this model, they will be responsible for only management, and rest will be done by the company. Okay, so EPC model is adopted in the Western country where only management work is looked into, rest other all works is done by the company. So both 1 and 2 is the correct option. Moving to the next, with respect to stubble burning. Okay, so since in winter, you know that complete city or the capital city get choked. हम पूरी तरह से जो है प्रदूषण के जकड़ में आ जाते हैं जब विंटर आती है, एंड उसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता है दिस stubble burning. What is stubble burning? You know that after paddy, the portion is left in the field which cannot be cut, or you cannot say which cannot be harvested. That part is called this stubble. So in Punjab and Haryana, these two are agriculture, you can say great state. So they generally do stubble burning. And after those stubble burning, the pollution in air rises and it reaches to Delhi and every other cities, or you can say that there is a AQI index, you might have read about that, goes very poor or low. So it is asking that which of this is incorrect. So question is, stubble burning is reduced soil fertility? Yeah, it is correct. Stubble burning cause increase in moisture of the soil? No, it decrease the moisture of the soil. So it is incorrect, because the question asked here is incorrect. This also you have to keep in mind. Sometimes generally students do such type of a silly mistake. They have been asked not true and they take the true part. Okay, so just first read the question properly. In UPSC, you have to keep in mind that at least you have to read, take 2 seconds, 3 seconds to read question properly. It does not take much to read a question. Okay, so it does not increase the moisture of the soil. Okay, in case of stubble burning, we have to find a solution. We have to find a path. We cannot blame farmer for stubble burning. Okay, so they are poor farmer. Whatever money they have, they use for crop harvesting and all. They do not have much money left for this stubble management. So it is a responsibility of the government to do the stubble management. Even Pusa biodecomposer company, you can say that a government funded company has discovered a decomposer who will, you can say that, useful for this stubble burning. But still it is not adopted, or you can say that government is not promoting this. So this can be done to find the solution of stubble burning, so that pollution, or you can say pollution, can be stopped. So this stubble burning question can be asked you separately also, or can ask in relate with pollution. If UPSC is asking any question on pollution, they may ask that what is stubble burning and how it is causing pollution. So you should read this topic in detail also. Okay, what are the causes of stubble burning, how to prevent stubble burning and all. Okay, next is, with respect to seawater, consider the following. Seawater is normally alkaline with pH value around 8.1. If you have read science, you know what is pH value. If pH value is 0 to 1, it is very acidic. If pH value is between 12 to 14, it is very basic, or you can say alkaline. That means pH value above 7 is base and pH value below 7 is acid. So this you might have studied in science, basic chemistry. Okay, the question first asked is here in this is, seawater is normally alkaline with pH value around 8.1. So it is correct. Seawater will be normally alkaline hoga. You know that there is seawater always salty. The next is, seawater's freezing point is higher than that of a pure boiling point. Which of the statement are correct? Okay, so it is asking which of the statement is correct. Only one, that is one is correct. This is not the correct. It is seawater freezing point is higher than that of pure water. It is boiling point is lower. No, both is similar. Okay, so only one would be the correct. Next is, which of the following are World Bank report? Okay, so again the same question is asked, that on the basis of report. Sometimes they will ask you the question with on the report, or they will ask that this report is released by which organization or which agency. Okay, in this question it is asked that we have given 3 reports. First is Global Financial Development Report, another is World Development Report, and next is Global Risk Report. So it is asking that which report is released by World Bank. The first and second report is released by the World Bank. This one, and this is released by World Economic Forum. So I have already said you have to read in detail every report which is either published by the government or published by any international organization which is related to UPSC. You have to read it is related, it is released by which organization or agency, or what are the parameter on which that report is released, because UPSC generally at least 2 or 3 questions based on report they ask, like World Happiness Index, Poverty Index. On that they will ask at least 1 or 2 questions every year. Okay, so that would be important for. Next question is, which of the following countries are part of IMT? Okay, it is India. In the name it is only clear that it is India, Mozambique. Okay, this is, and Tanzania. 3 countries are that: India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. So 1 and 2. Can anyone tell me what is the exercise India and Australia, between India and Australia? Exercise between India and Australia is called, because this option is related to India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. IMT is a 3-country exercise, joint maritime exercise, which is related to India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. Since Australia is an option, so I am asking that the exercise between India and Australia is called, between, if it is a bilateral, it's Astra-Hind. And you know that India, Japan, and USA, and Australia, these 4 together, which exercise? Malabar. It is same exercise in response to Chinese aggression. That is, you can say Quad and all, which I have already discussed, Quad and all. So if it is a 4-country together exercise, that is Malabar with Australia, and if between India and Australia, it is Astra-Hind. Okay, and the question here it is asked IMT. It is India, Mozambique, and Tanzania. Okay, so that is a trilateral joint exercise. The option 1 and 2 is correct. Australia will not be in the include. It is clear in the name also. नाम से clear लग रहा है IMT में ऑस्ट्रेलिया कहाँ से आएगा. Moving to the next. Okay, with reference to northeast monsoon, consider the following statement. About 75% of the country annual rainfall is received from southwest monsoon between June and September. Even if you do not know, you know that the majority of the rain we receive between these 2 months only, June to September. The rainy season in India is this only. So the first option is correct. Rest in detail you will read in monsoon chapter of geography. When geography teacher will teach you monsoon, they will teach you what is southwest monsoon, what is northeast monsoon, what is El Nino, what is La Nina. That everything will be explained there. The northeast monsoon, that is returning monsoon, you can say, occurs during October to December, cause less rainfall. It is in Tamil Nadu and that lower part of Western Ghat, they receive the rainfall during winter time. Rest of the country receive the rainfall between June and September. Okay, so sorry, means both are the correct answer. So both 1 and 2, C would be the correct answer. With reference to government e-marketplace, consider the following statement. Okay, what is government e-marketplace? It is a place where government lists its product. Okay, from there you can buy all the government product. Okay, there are various products which is made by the government. So this is the e-marketplace from where a vendor or can individual or a public can buy or procure product from the government marketplace. So it is an online platform for public procurement in India. Great. So you can product whatever the product made by a government like khadi and all. So that can be purchased from here. The initiative was launched by 2021. No, this initiative was launched by 2016. So this was a incorrect option. So only 1 would be the correct one. Oh, you can visit this portal, GEM portal. You can find so many product which is low cost product which is given by the government. With reference to typhoon, what is typhoon? A name of cyclone. You know that various type of cyclone like Katrina and all occurs every time and many times in different countries or Western countries. So it is a type of cyclone. The option is a typhoon is a mature tropical cyclone that develops between 180° and northern hemisphere, and northern western Pacific basin is the most acquired tropical cyclone basin on the earth. This again you will read in detail in geography. So you have to remember that type of cyclone and which wind caused that type of cyclone, from where to where it blows of degree and all that you have to remember. So you can read in detail in geography, but here it is both the option is correct one. Moving to the next, the president specify caste, races, and this we have already studied. The same question which we have studied previously, in which 340 and 341 both were given. So it is again the same. I think question is something you can say it is related to 341. That is, it is a simple thing that if anyone, so any caste, race, religion, president want to keep or categorize it under SC/ST, president have power to do that under article 341. जैसे कोई भी जाति है उसको हमको SC/ST बनना है नहीं है या OBC है क्या है, ये सारे पावर प्रेसिडेंट के हैं और किसके अंदर है, वो 341 के अंदर है. सिंपल क्वेश्चन वाज दैट. नेक्स्ट इज Jupiter Neo Razorpay. You might have see these all this payment gateway seen in the news is to be best defined as digital bank. No. Non-banking finance company. No. What are the non-banking finance company? Aditya Birla and all. Cooperative bank. No. It is neobank. What is the difference between neobank and digital bank? Both is working digitally only. They do not have a physical center at all. But neobank do not operate individually. Yeah, it will tie with some of the country in India. Suppose if these are the working in India, Jupiter, Neo, Razorpay, it will tie with any of the non-banking financial company and then it will operate. Okay, so that is the difference between digital bank and neobank. Digital bank can work independently, and on neobank, government cannot put any regulation. Government will put regulation on its partner with whom it is tied up. But on the neobank directly, government cannot put regulation because it is not existing also. They are not a company of India. They are from somewhere else. And it is tying up with some of the India's non-banking finance company or digital company and then operating in India. So neobank would be the correct answer. And there is a difference between neobank and digital bank. Okay. With reference to the strategic significance of submarine launched ballistic missile from Arihant, consider the following statement. Answer the question below. The first question option here is the submarine can achieve credible nuclear deterrence. What is this? You might be aware of that. India is a country who believes in that. We believes in peace. Okay, हम कहते हैं हम peace में believe करते हैं, शांति में. जब तक हम पे कोई आक्रमण नहीं करेगा, we will not means we will not do the same to them. Like in nuclear policy also we say that until unless Pakistan drop a nuclear bomb on us, we will not drop or we will not use a nuclear policy. When there is a debate that why India is not signing NPT, India says that under nuclear policy we have already defined that we will not first use our nuclear weapon until and unless our enemy or other country use that weapon on us. So this submarine was launched to you can say to safeguard ourselves. That is, submarine can achieve credible nuclear deterrence. That means if a nuclear bomb is dropped on this submarine, it will have a deterrence, that it will not be destroyed or something like that. Next option is it is based on the strategic posture on first use, no first use. Yes. Why we are creating such type of technology? Because we say that no first use. Suppose someone is dropping bomb on us, so we have something that will that is able to face that. Suppose if I am saying that मैं पहले तुम पे war नहीं करूँगा, अब पहले ही war में मेरा मुंह फट गया, तो फिर तो that is different. So we have to create some deterrence. So we are creating this submarine as a deterrent where a nuclear bomb can be faced by this, and even after facing that nuclear bomb, it can attack on the enemy also. So these had two type of system, that is launch ballistic missile submarine. Okay. So why means this question comprise of two things. Why India is creating this type of nuclear deterrent? Because India have a policy of no first use. So it is creating deterrence in case some country or some organization attacked on us, we can safeguard ourselves. Simple method. So both 1 and 2 would be the correct option regarding related to Aryan. Okay. Recently in news, Biljoy Emmanuel case related to which article? It is related to the two of the article, that is Article 19 and Article 25. I'll explain you what is this. Article 25. Okay. Recently, Supreme Court has said that that is in related to hijab case. Karnataka High Court has said that hijab is not essential in religion practice. So Supreme Court has coined a term doctrine of essentiality. Like doctrine of basic structure, it is doctrine of essentiality. So if something is essential, that is, suppose you say about religion, that is Sikhism. So we can say that Kacha, Kadha, Kripan, that is 5 things. We say that it is essential. So they can use that at any places. Even they are going to exam hall, they are allowed with that. Because it is essential practice in their religion. But if hijab is not an essential practice in Muslim law, if triple talaq is not an essential practice in Islam, so Supreme Court is saying that in such scenario, that Article 25 is not valid. That is, you know that it is a religious freedom. So that Article 25 is not exist, and basic essentiality will only be valid in basic essentiality. If it is essential in our religion, we will value Article 25. If it is not essential in your religion, we will follow the uniformity or the law of that is school or something like that. And now, what is this Biljoy ML1? Actually, earlier what has happened, there was a case in state where 3 boys have not stand during national anthem. So that case reaches Supreme Court. In that case, Supreme Court said that according to Article 25 and Article 19, we cannot force anyone to sing national anthem. But now Supreme Court is saying that doctrine of essentiality, if it is essential of law of that organization, you have to follow that. So the question it is asked related to which, it is Article 19 and 25. You can read the explanation here. The Supreme Court delivered a split verdict in Karnataka hijab ban case, directing the matter to be placed before the Chief Justice of India for appropriate direction. In August 1986, a Supreme Court bench had in Belgium and others versus the state of Kerala. So there is a case in the state of Kerala. 3 children, the name of the who did not join the singing of national anthem at their school. So they did not sing national anthem at their school. The court held that forcing the children to sing the anthem violated their fundamental right religion, and the fundamental right applies under Article 19 and 1. सिंपल सा मीनिंग यही है, सिंपल कि ये केस पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास गया था और बच्चों ने नेशनल एंथम नहीं गाया तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा था कि हम वी कैन नॉट फोर्स देम टू सिंग दैट. But in the hijab case also, it is a similar case. If a student is going to the school and they are saying that we have to, they will wear the, they will wear the hijab only, then only they can sit in the classes. Okay, so that is a means there is a conflict between institute and that student. The institute is saying that our code, uniform code is saying that you cannot wear hijab in the school. So that was all about. Supreme Court earlier has given the verdict that it cannot be forced, so it is related to Article 19 and 25. Now Supreme Court is saying that it will depend on doctrine of essentiality. If it is in your essential in your religion, then organization cannot force you. But if it is not essential in your religion, then you have to obey the rule of you have to obey the rule of that organization. आपको उस organization का rule को मानना पड़ेगा. So whatever institute is saying, you have to follow that. So this case is all about that. Okay. Okay. Which of the following statement is not true with respect to Mahakal Temple, Ujjain? Okay. Many students comes to me that and say that, sir, in art and culture we read different type of temples and all. How we should understand that which question can be asked on the basis of that and which question cannot be asked? Remember, there is a hint that UPSC gave. Sometime if some temple is celebrating its 100th year, 75th year, 25th year, so that on that basis they can ask you a question. Or some celebrity visit that temple, like Ujjain Mahakal. If Pradhan Mantri Modi has visited, even previous year there was a question that Pradhan Mantri Modi has visited a Puri temple. So such type of question is chances that they can ask you question on those temple which is celebrating its 25th year or something like that, or even celebrity like prime minister, president has recently visited those places. So such questions can be asked. So here it is question asked on Ujjain Mahakal, and the question is asked which is not true. You have to keep in mind the question it is asked which is not true. So according to means we have to find out regarding Ujjain Mahakal, and we have to understand which is not true. So early part of Meghadutam composed the 4th century, Kalidasa gives description of Mahakal temple. It is correct. Mahakal is the only Jyotirling facing west, while all other Jyotirling faces east. Mahakal is the only Jyotirling which is faces south, northwest, and while all other faces east. Okay, so this is incorrect. Okay, generally you know that there is a belief in our society that that is when we face towards south, it is the डेथ मार्ग, मृत्यु का मार्ग होता है दक्षिण की तरफ. So all other Jyotirlinga faces east, but since it is belongs to Mahakal, you know that Shankar is a god of death, so that's why it is facing towards south. Okay, so this is incorrect. Why? It is written west. It is not west, it is south. The rest two are the right one. The city of Ujjain was also one of the primary center. You know that Ujjain is one of the Mahajanpada. That is 16 Mahajanpada we study in class NCRT also, or in ancient history we read about 16 Mahajanpada. So Ujjain was one of the prosperous Mahajanpada. Abantika, you might have seen Bahubali, Abantika and all, that is Mahishmati, 6th and 17th century. Astronomers and mathematicians such as Brahmagupta and Bhaskaracharya made Ujjain their home. Yeah, it is correct. So A, C and D is the correct, but since it is asking which is not true, so B is not true in this. So such type of question can be asked on the temple, but since we studied so many temples in our classes, So how to know that which can be asked? So that I have said you that on the basis of this they can ask the question. Next question is, consider the following statement. The RBI is the sole authority to decide and approve the design, form and material of the bank notes in India. No, it has to do with in consultation with the government of India also. Although in the note there is a sign of RBI governor, but they had to consult with the government, or government had to consult with them and then print the note. Okay, so this is incorrect. The central government has the power to design the on the coin. Central government have all the authority. RBI role is limited. Okay, so 2 is the correct. That's why when you have 1 rupees coin, 2 rupees coin or 10 rupees coin, there is no sign of RBI governor. So second one is correct, first one is incorrect. With reference to eco-sensitive zone, consider the following statement. You know that there are some eco-sensitive zone to protect the wildlife and all. So it is asking that which is incorrect in this. Consider the following statement, and yeah, it is asking which are correct. So land within 10 kilometers of the boundary of national park, wildlife sanctuary are to be notified as eco. Yeah, it is yes, correct one. The first one is correct. The permitted activities are commercial mining. Okay, no, it is prohibited activities, not permitted. So it is incorrect. This commercial mining, sawmills, this will not be permitted around eco-sensitive zone. This will be avoided. You can only do organic farming, or that is farming and all activity can be permitted. Other activity cannot be permitted in eco-sensitive zone. So you can say that only first is the correct one. On the planet Earth, most of the fresh water exists in the ice caps and glacier. Out of the remaining fresh water, the largest proportion is found in atmosphere as moisture and cloud, is found as a fresh water lake and river, exists as a groundwater. So option C is the correct. You know that there is 97% water which is not drinkable. Only 3% water which is drinkable or form of fresh water which is available. So I have already discussed in previous sessions that if next world war will take place, it will take place for water only. So if we talk about this question, the correct answer is option C is the correct answer. So this was the first part of October. In next session, we will again come with second part October, and again we will cover 20 MCQ which is related to October current affair. So that's all. Again, we will come next session also. We will have a 2 part of the sessions. First, we will discuss the current affair news of the last 7 days, and then we will move to the question answer. Okay. Any questions? Anything you want to ask? Okay. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I have to ask something.
Yeah.
Sir, I was back testing the 2020, the recent prelims paper, 2022 March. So it was there was some question which was related to March current affairs. So there, when I downloaded the PDF of the Hindu, the 17th March, I guess there was the date, then it was not in that newspaper, but it was on the website of the Hindu. So that is why I was asking that the source, if you can just tell us the most authentic source, because the Hindu uploaded it on its site, but not in the newspaper.
Yeah, see, if you ask me, or my experience is, there are 4 things which you need to focus on current affair when you're reading current affair. First is Yojana magazine, because it always comprise of government scheme. So if you leave or anything like government scheme, that won't be good for you. You have to read all the schemes. So government scheme is the most way, and the most authentic source for this is Yojana magazine. So first source is Yojana magazine, where you can read the current affair. Now moving to The Hindu. The Hindu, again, the second term comes under The Hindu, where details has been explained in that, complete details, which are the news. And if you are saying that some part was not there in The Hindu, I don't think that there is something which is not in Hindu and UPSC asked that. Whatever trend from last 2, 3, or you can say 5 years, UPSC generally asks question from The Hindu, which is under The Hindu newspaper or something. So The Hindu is always an authentic source. Yeah, there is chances that some people read Indian Express also. So you can do what that there is some institute releases summary of The Hindu and Indian Express, that you can read together.
So is it a book?
Yeah, it is a magazine type summary. Okay. So that summary you can find in the market of Mukherjee Nagar or Old Rajendra Nagar. So summary you can read from there. Government scheme, and the last one is we call yearbook. If you have not read it, don't try to touch it. because it has to be started from October, November only. But if you have read on just going to these three are the source: the Hindu, Yojana magazine, and the yearbook. Only these three are the source. If you are some from a Hindi student, for them Pratham Darpan. For English student, these are the only three sources.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So our first question is with reference to digital rupee. You might have heard that government is planning to launch digital rupee. That is, we have now rupee in form of cash. So government is planning to launch in form of digital rupee. So consider the following statement, and question has been asked is correct. So which of these two statements is correct regarding digital rupee? It will earn interest as in the case of cash. No. When you deposit your cash in the bank, you earn interest, but digital rupee will not give you the interest. The first point is incorrect. It can be used only for person to person transaction. No. It can be used for any transaction. Right now, when you have a cash, आप अपने दोस्त को भी दे सकते हो, पर्सन टू पर्सन हो गया, और आप किसको दे सकते हो, बाजार में जाकर कुछ खरीद सकते हो. So that is person to person as well for business purpose. So digital rupees have function like cash only, but it will not give you the interest. So the answer will be neither 1 or 2. So the first question which is related to digital rupee, answer is neither 1 or 2. Okay, so digital rupee is a type of cash only, but it will not have a interest, you can say like that. I have given explanation for you. So in the home, you can read this explanation so that you can read the details or understand the details. Okay, with reference to black coral, consider the following statement. You might have heard that in India, Andaman Nicobar is a coral-based island. Okay, so it is discovered, or you can say it is researched by some of the scientists, and they have done some research over black coral. Okay, so first point is it can be found growing in shallow water only. No, it grow in deep water also, not in shallow water only. So the first point is wrong. It grow in deep water also, not in shallow water. The first point is wrong. Many of these orals are branched and look like a feather, fence or bushes, while others are straight like a wave. Yeah. So features of the coral has been explained. In Google, you can search and check the image. So only 2 is the correct answer for this question. So black coral, it can be found in deep sea as well as you can say shallow water. But the second point here, it is right. Moving to the next one. Carbon capture, utilization and storage policy recently in news was launched by Niti Aayog, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Foundation of Ecological Security and Society for Environment and Education. The first point is correct one. I have already said you before going to the exam, all those who are preparing for 2023 must read all the policy and framework and the organization which has launched this. There is at least 1 to 2 questions every year in which UPSC directly asks the organization who has launched the program. Okay, so in such scenario, you have not studied the name of organization. There is nothing to be understand in this. Okay, you have to just understand which of the organization. Like previous class, we have discussed about freedom of press index. In this class, it is about carbon capture, utilization and storage. If you want to understand this term, it is just simply related to reduce the carbon emission. Okay, so it is related to reduce the carbon emission, and it is launched by the Niti Aayog. Moving to the next question. With reference to writing of a loan, consider the following statement. Can anyone tell me the difference between writing of a loan and waiving of a loan? Anyone in the class? Any intellect? Writing of a loan and waiving of a loan. क्या डिफरेंस होता है? बहुत विवाद चलता है कि गवर्नमेंट अपने दोस्तों का लोन जो है राइट ऑफ कर देती है. So what is the difference between write off and waiving off? Anyone? See, there are difference between writing and waiving of a loan. When you write off a loan, it simply you say that you cannot collect that loan. Suppose मैं एक इंसान हूं और मैंने बैंक से 2 करोड़ रुपीज लोन लिया है. Now मैंने उस लोन को समय रहते चुका नहीं पाया. I could not return it to the bank. So it is NPA of the bank, right? So if bank is writing off that loan, it means that bank is saying that this loan cannot be recovered by the bank at any cost. So bank is removing that loan from its head. You can say अपना headache खत्म करता है, because it is saying that yeah, it is it cannot be recovered. But on the, if we think about point of customer, अगर हमारे customer, तो मेरे ऊपर अभी भी 2 करोड़ का लोन है, because I have to return. Bank has write off the loan, not waive off the loan. Okay. So if bank is writing off my loan, it means that according to in wage of bank is simply saying that this loan cannot be recovered, or it is beyond my scope to be recovered. But on the customer head, that loan still is pending, and customer can someday return that loan also. So just to remove or reduce its NPA, bank write off a loan. Okay. But if bank waive off a loan, then that means that customer has not to pay that loan. मतलब अब customer को भी pay नहीं करना है. अब बैंक का भी खत्म हो गया, customer का हो गया, पैसा भूल जाए. So it is about writing off a loan. So generally you can see that so many industries loan is write off. So it is also a debate कि जब farmer loan लेता है तो हम उसको नहीं write off या waive off कुछ नहीं करते हैं, और जब कोई बड़ा इंडस्ट्री लेता है तो हम write off कर देते हैं और farmer जो है suicide करता है. So it is in the news. Let's have a reading of one by one the point it is given. The bank write off a loan after the borrower has defaulted the loan. Correct. Since it has defaulted, there is NPA. By writing off a loan, a bank can reduce the level of non-performing asset. That's what I have stated ना. कि अगर उसने write up कर दिया तो उसके खाता से वो NPA हट गया, बैंक के खाते से. So it is right. An additional benefit that amounts or written off reduces the bank's tax liability. Yes. So all statements are correct about writing off the loan. मतलब बैंक अपना कह सकते हैं कि पलरा झाल रहा है, लेकिन अभी कस्टमर पे लोन अभी भी है. Moving to the next question. With reference to Constitution of India, consider the following statement. मुझे पता है जिन लोगों ने पॉलिटी पढ़ा है, this question is very often asked. Okay, there is a 2 word came into effect, came into force, and another one is adopted. So can anyone tell me the answer of this question? Very basic question, but it is very confusing. Sometime कोई बता सकता है इसमें क्या इसका आंसर होगा? Anyone? Remember, incorrect has been asked, not the correct. Okay. The first option is since 1950, November 26 has been observed as a Constitution or Samvidhan Diwas. Yes, November 26 has been observed as a Samvidhan Diwas or Constitutional Day, but not since 1950. Since 2015, it was gazetted by Pradhan Mantri Modi government. So since 2015, the first one is incorrect. That means it is, according to question wise, it is correct. The Constitution of India was adopted on January 26, 1915. Again, 50. Again, I have told you, came into effect or came into force. So it came into force on this date. Adopted on 26 November 1949. So very basic questions from polity. संविधान को अपनाया कब गया था? That is 26 November 1940. संविधान लागू कब किया गया था? 26 जनवरी 1950. A simple question, but can be asked. संविधान दिवस कब मनाया जाता है? मतलब कब से ये कहा गया? It is from 2015. Date ठीक है, 26 November ही date है, but so both 1 and 2 is incorrect. कोई भी इसमें से correct नहीं है. Moving to the next one. Question asked with reference to Election Commission. Article 324 is related to Election Commission. So it is asked the following statement: the Election Commission shall consist of Chief Election Commissioner and other Election Commissioner as a Parliament may fix time to time. It's not Parliament, it's President. Parliament fix नहीं करता है, कौन fix करता है? President करता है. Election Commissioner जो था पहले 1 member body था, फिर 1980-89 के आसपास इसको 3 members body बनाया गया, फिर बीच में एक बार और amend किया गया, फिर अभी 3 members body है ये. But it is the power of president, not the power of parliament. Okay. Now you might have heard that recently there is a Supreme Court verdict in which Supreme Court said that election commissioner will be appointed by 3-member panel. Earlier it was appointed by the government, or you can say the president appoint them, and the means you can say ministry, cabinet, or you can say council of ministers suggest them. But now leader of opposition, Chief Justice of India, and Prime Minister, these three will elect election commissioner. Okay, so now the provision has been changed. Okay, it was in previous news, so this has been covered. So even if such the case, Parliament is not the authority to decide about election commissioner, it's the president who decide. Second point is correct. The chief election commissioner hold the office of period for 6 years or 65 years, whichever is early. The concern has not prescribed qualification members for the election commission, right? So option C is correct. Only 1 is incorrect, 2 and 3 is correct one. For even UPSC chairman, there is no qualification required. Okay, only 50% of its members should be from government organization. Okay, that's the only point is given. So generally higher post we do not require any qualifications. Okay, moving to the next. Consider the following statement regarding the planet Venus. Presently large field of solidified volcanic rock, most of the planet total surface area. The discovery of phosphine, that is phosphorus and hydrogen. So these together called phosphine. The formula is pH3. Okay, the Venus, a planet, which one of the correct? Since it is a science based, so you can say both 1 and 2 is the correct one. Moving on to the next question. What is the correct chronological order with respect to relation between India and Pakistan? You know that India and Pakistan have a very healthy relation, or you can say very unhealthy relation, both you can say. So here in this question it has been asked to arrange chronological. पहले कौन घटना हुई थी, दूसरे बार कौन घटना हुई थी, और तीसरे बार कौन सी घटना हुई थी. So this Dixon plan is about development of Kashmir, and it has been in 1949. Simla agreement, you might be aware, famous इंदिरा गांधी 70,000 सैनिक ने जो है सरेंडर किया था 1971, बांग्लादेश बना था. And Operation Gibraltar, it was India Pakistan second war 1965. Oh, that is first war 1965. Okay,
Sir, can you explain more about Dixon plan?
okay, I'll explain more about Dixon plan. In Dixon plan, you can see it. It is a development plan for the economic and social development of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. So it is the social and what on the basis of economic and social development the Indian state Jammu and Kashmir, proposed by the Canadian economist John W. Dixon. So he proposed that in 1950, and the plan was designed to address the economic and social disparity. You know that since Kashmir was trapped between India and Pakistan, so development work was not taking much there. So you can say this Dixon has given some plan to both the government for the development of Kashmir part. So whatever part with the Pakistan, he has given for the development of that part, and whatever part with India, he has given plan for that part. The plan was designed to address the economic and social disparities between Kashmir Valley, Jammu and Ladakh. You know that recently these have been converted into, you can say, union territory. And it was the main reason for converting them into union territory was development only. Government is also saying that development is not taking place. Prosperous and the more improvised regions of the Jammu and Ladakh. So simple terms, we can understand that Dixon plan was given by John W. Dixon as a Canadian economist, and he has given this plan for the development of, that is, economical and social development of Kashmir. Rest two in these options are self-explanatory. That is Simla agreement signed by that is at that time, and Indira Gandhi and Sam the Prime Minister of that day, Pakistan, and Operation Gibraltar. You know that it was a hidden mission launched by the Pakistan army at that time, which was responded by Indian army also. So if we talk about the sequence, the first one is Dixon plan, okay, and this one, first one would be this one would be the second one, and this one would be the third one. 1949, this Operation Gibraltar 1965, and this is 1971. So you can arrange yourself. It is 2, 3, and 1. Moving to the next question. Again, the question asked here is, which of the following statement is true with respect to GM crop? It is genetically modified crop. Mainly in India, there are two genetically modified crops, that is cotton and mustard. Okay, the question asked here is, in India, FCCI, no, he is not the apex body to decide about this. There is GEAC. I'll tell you the full form. So GEAC, the body which decide about this. The second point is GM mustard has genes that allows plant cross pollination and hybridization. It's just to increase the production of cotton and mustard. This have been approved by GAAC. So only two is the correct. What is GAAC? Next explanation part, you can see that in India, the Genetic Engineering Appraisal Commission. So this is the commission who decide that for which crops we need to genetically modify for the production, or for we need to grow the production. So the correct answer it will be the first one is incorrect, second one is correct. GM mustard has mainly two genes, okay, that allows cross pollination and hybridization in mustard, which is largely a self-pollinating plant because of its individual flowers and containing both female and male reproductive organs. So you just need to understand that mustard and cotton are two genetically modified plants, and the organization which gives this permission is GEAC, not FCCI. Moving to the next question. Which of the following statement are correct with respect to Union Health Ministry document titled Guidelines and Protocol for Medico-Legal Care for Survival Victim of Sexual Violence? Okay, so very important again, I would say, there was some sets of guidelines which have been given by the government for the help of sexual survivor. Okay, since you know that there has to be so many checks and all to prove that yes, he has been sexually violated. So the first point was here in this protocol was that examination must be done under a female doctor, and there are so many provisions under that. But the question here asked is, Union Health Ministry brought out a detailed guideline for the medical examinations of the victim sexual assault in early 2014. And after 2013 Justice Burma Committee report. Okay, so this you can say is the correct one. These guidelines are not legally binding. Said state, but yes, correct. It is not legally binding. It's just a simple report, or you can say guideline. And guideline can never be legally binding. So both 1 and 2 is correct. Moving to the next, which of the following discretionary power given to the governor of a state? A very important question, you can say. You know that one of the most debated topic in India is a governor. Very so many reports, that is ARC report, reform report. There is a point in which governor has been discussed. That post of governor should be independent, or it is a constitutional post. It should have a term like 5 years, 6 years, or something like that. But since it is appointed by the central government, and so it was in debate. Earlier, what was happening? The same government was in state also and center also. So there was no worry. Now so many state or regional powers are rising, and in such case, governor is playing very vital role. In Supreme Court hearing recently in Uddhav Thackeray versus Shiv Sena, in that also it has been orally remarked by Chief Justice of India CJI Chandrachud that governor has no business to interfere in the legislative affairs, but governor is doing that. And on whose behest it is doing? It is doing of the behest of central government. You might be aware, or you might be still remember those famous scene that at 5 AM, Devanand Fadnavis was sworn in as a chief minister. That is 5 बजे सुबह जो है गवर्नर द्वारा चीफ मिनिस्टर sworn in कर दिया गया और अगले दिन सरकार गिर गई. You might be aware that in Uttarakhand there are 6-month precedent rule has been imposed, and that rule was turned by the you can say Supreme Court. So you may understand that a democracy has been snatched from you by an order of governor, and that is incorrect. That is legally it is incorrect. So it is a very, you can say, debated post at all. So here it is question asked is which of the following are the discretionary power, but the exclusive power given to governor? Sending a report to President of India imposing president rule. Yes, correct. You know that in emergency, you read about president rule and 2 articles, Article 356 and Article 365. So if state is not obeying center, then 365 applicable. If governor is recommending president rule, then Article 356 is applicable. So yeah, it is the correct one. Appointing the minister. Although governor appoint the minister, but it is not discretionary power of the governor. Why? Because it has to, he has to do with the help of chief minister, and he appoint chief minister, and after that chief minister select its cabinet. Okay, so it is not discretionary power, so it is the incorrect. Reserving the certain bill passed by the state legislature for the consideration of the President of India. Yes, it is the correct. Article 200 is there regarding this. Making the rules for the conduct of business of state government. It is incorrect. It is the power of legislative. Legislative has the power to make the rule. Again, government is interfering in this also. You might have heard in a very famous case in Punjab, where legislature want to summon the sessions, but the Banwari Lal Purohit, the state governor of Punjab, has said that no, and then government has to approach to Supreme Court. Okay, and Delhi also sometime a state, the governor is asking the region that tell me the region why you want to call the session. So this is something interfering in legislature matter. You know that power of separation is the basic of democracy, and if executive, legislative, and judiciary is fighting for the power, then that never means. So it is a polity topic. You read in polity in detail about this. But in this question, if we talk about the question part, okay. So you the last that is appointing the minister, that is second and fourth. These are the not discretionary power of the governor. First and third is the discretionary power of the governor. So B would be the correct answer. Moving on to the next. Acid rain, you know, Taj Mahal is color of Taj Mahal is deteriorating day by day, and it is due to acid rain. You might have heard, you might have studied in science class 12th, or you can say even 6th, 7th also about this. Carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Carbon dioxide, monoxide and carbon dioxide. This monoxide is a refrigerant. Ozone and carbon dioxide. The correct answer will be nitrous oxide and sulfur dioxide is the component of acid rain. We generally say the first rain of the season generally comprise of acid rain. So in that we need not to take bath, or we have to avoid that. So we generally has been told this by our forefathers or something future previous generation also. So the correct answer would be D. Moving to the thing, if too much money is chasing too few goods, the resulting inflation is known as, it is called demand pull inflation. It is called demand pull. Although all will come under inflation only, but it is demand pull inflation. So if too much money is invested, एक थैला पैसा लेके जा रहे हो और 1 किलो आलू खरीद के ला रहे हो, it is demand pull inflation. Okay, what is stagflation? It is continuous inflation with unemployment. Continuous मतलब कि लगातार इन्फ्लेशन ही हो रहा है 1 साल तक 2 साल तक, with unemployment, बेरोजगारी भी इसमें शामिल होता है, तो हम इसको कहते हैं stagflation. Okay, next is cost push inflation. If we talk about cost push inflation, ये एक ऐसा इन्फ्लेशन होता है जिसमें कि डिमांड उतना ही है, डिमांड फिक्स है पर सप्लाई जैसे ऑयल का डिमांड कभी घटेगा नहीं. Suppose you were using for petrol, bike and all, so demand will be similar, but the supply we call it cost push inflation. And depreciation, you know, that is reducing the value of fixed asset is called depreciation. Although all terms look similar, but it has a little difference in all terms. So depreciation is reducing the fixed cost value. That is, if land, you know that there is a fixed cost and that is the variable cost. So depreciation comes under the fixed cost, that is land and something like that. If that value is decreasing, then we call it depreciation. Moving to the next question with reference to Tipu Sultan. You know, in Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan, very two famous ruler of Mysore. Okay, Badiyar Dynasty, famous in history. You might have read about this. Okay, so it question asks here that consider the following statement. Tipu Sultan patronized various temples and Hindu shrines, including Sri Ranganatha Temple, Sri Rangapatna, and in Sringeri. Okay, he was termed to be against Hindu also. He introduced a new coin. So both of these are the correct. Both 1 and 2 would be the correct one. About Tipu Sultan, you can read more in history. Moving to the next question with reference to measles. एक तरह का वो pox के type का होता है. Measles. Consider the following statement. Measles is a highly contagious bacterial disease. No, it is a virus disease, viral disease you can say. And measles virus is responsible for this. Measles is yet to be converted under universal immunization program. No, it is under universal. But both are incorrect. It is under universal immunization program. The question asks which of are incorrect. So the both are incorrect in this case. So both 1 and 2. C would be the answer. And measles is a viral disease and it is covered under immunization program. That is, there is a vaccine for this. You can read the name of the vaccine. Measles rubella is the name of the vaccine. Moving to the next, with reference to climate change performance index, that is CCPI. Consider the following. This index is released by UN Sustainable Development Solution Network annually. No. It is released in support of this, but not released by that. Who released that? We will see in the explanation. India ranked 8th among 59 countries. Correct. India has promised to ensure at least 70% of its, no, it's 50%. That is, India has promised that renewable source of energy it will use and reduce the carbon emission. You know that it is under sustainable development and millennium development goal also. So you can say that in this case, this is a release by, it is also incorrect. Only 2 is the correct one. So C option would be the correct one. If you see in the explanation part, it is given that the first statement is incorrect. The climate change performance index is not released by UN Sustainable Development Solution Network. Index is published by 2 organizations, that is German Watch and New Climate Institute in partnership with Climate Action Network International. So these things you have to remember, because in UPSC something is there that you have to mug up also. Everything you cannot understand. Some part is there which you need to mug up. Moving to the next one. Consider the following statement regarding Hindu Code Bill. Okay, it is related. You know that we are talking about UCC. But this Hindu Code Bill and Muslim Code Bill are very in the news due to that whenever we talk about UCC, so this bill always comes in the news. Okay. The Hindu Code Bill attempted to modernize several sections of traditional Hindu law. Correct. It is correct one. The bill was introduced in the Parliament April 1947. Correct. It is addressed that law related to the right of property, marriage, divorce, adoptions, and order of succession. So 1, 2, and 3. All are correct. Simple Hindu Code Bill is something related to Hindu, you can say Marriage Act, and all together comes under Hindu Code Bill. When we talk about UCC, we generally talk about, you can say, abolishing these bills. Moving to the next, Manx, recently seen in the news, refers to a recently found dinosaur fossils in Nairobi. That is SUE, is a recently found, so it is incorrect. Ancient language, yeah, it is the correct one. It is the ancient language. SpaceX is a coming land on asteroid now. First of all, SpaceX is a mission for satellite. It was launched by Elon Musk. You can say Musk, whatever. India's underwater vessels explorer deep ocean. It is called Samudrayan. So when you read any MCQ, try to find out the answer of other 3 also. One you can select the correct one, but other 3, what is the other 3 action? Okay. So ऐसा नहीं कि खाली एक जो सही हुआ उसको छोड़ दिया, फिर बाकी नहीं. तो at least when you read one MCQ, you are solving 4 other options also. So you are preparing yourself for 4 other questions. Okay. So in this case, the correct answer is ancient language. Okay. You can read the explanation here. Moving to the next. With respect to Janjatiya Gaurav Divas, consider the following statement. You know that tribal people are assets to our, you can say, country also. They have protected the forest land during British India also. And after that also they are protecting the forest land. So many tribes like Santhal, Munda, these are the tribes who belongs to forest and they protect the forest. The question here asked in 2021, the Central decided to mark Janjati Gaurav Divas as a day to celebrate contribution of tribal communities in Indian culture. Correct. It is celebrated annually on November 15 on the birth anniversary of tribal leader Araru Sitar. No, it is incorrect. So first one is only incorrect. As it is means not celebrated on the birth date of any leader. It is celebrated as a common Janjati contribution. Moving to the next one, the last question of the day, with reference to Artemis 1. It is a, you can say, mission by NASA. Consider the following statement. It is carrying several payload in the form of a small satellite called CubeSat. Okay. Second question here is Artemis 1 is the first in a series increasingly complex mission that will enable human exploration to the moon and Mars. Correct. Both 1 and 2 are true. Second part, we are going to discuss some of the MCQ. So be with us and we will be discussing the 20 MCQ of December 2022. Okay, the first question here is, again, just we have read about the caste census, and you can see that it is a question similar approach on that only. Although question is of December month, but it is on the base of caste census only. The question here asked is, the first question is the Dhewar Commission. Okay, created primitive tribal groups as a separate category that are less developed among the tribal group. It is the correct one. Odisha has the highest number of patrically vulnerable tribal groups. Again, it is you can say this one is also correct one. And the next one is Jarwaj and Onges are the some of the PVTs in Odisha. No, there are PVT in Andaman Nicobar. Sentinels, Janwas, Oranges, these are the tribal groups in Andaman Nicobar, not in Odisha. You might be aware about Sentinels. You might have heard about the story of Sentinels, who is yet to be exposed in our, you can say that human environment. जब सुनामी आया था, तो ये जो सेंटिनल्स जो कि अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड में रहते थे, इनको चेक करने के लिए उन सेंटिनल आइलैंड्स के ऊपर से हवाई जहाज या एरोप्लेन्स गए थे. And then when they started shooting bow and arrow over aeroplanes, then we understood that they are well and good. So we again left them in their conditions, because whenever we tried to approach them, they are not responding positively. They are trying to attack us. So the Sentinel is still unexplored, you can say, tribe in Andaman Nicobar. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube about Sentinel, how government is trying to put efforts to make them in mainstream, but they are not coming in the mainstream. They are still in, living in a tribal life, and they're in Andaman Nicobar. So the question here is, and the statement D is the correct one. Moving to the next question. Arrange the following island. Some of you might be reading geography. So such type of question can be asked on the geography. Question is asked that you have to arrange the island of South China Sea from north to south. Okay. So let's move on to the map. If you see this map, you have to arrange accordingly in this map from north to south. You know that this is called north and this is called south. So from north to south, you have to arrange this. So first you can see this Paracel Island. Okay, so it would be the one. Then separately island, it would be a second part, and then you have this 3 and 4th is here. Okay, so that is Natuna Island and Anabas Island. So the correct answer would be 2, 1, 3, 4. This would be the correct answer. You can see in the map. Nothing you have to do, just you have to arrange from north to south. Okay, so through the map you can easily arrange that. Okay, so from north and south, the name of the island is given. So such type of questions through the map you can be asked. There is a special topic in geography, that is map reading, so that you can understand from here. Next topic is, which of the following organization released the State of Finance for Nature report? Okay, so the question is asking which organization is releasing a State of Finance for Nature report. Every section when we are reading the you can say MCQ part, every day there is a one question or two questions there that is asking about report is published by which organization. So this is very important. Whenever you are reading current affair news, you must read about the report, and that report is published by which organization and what are the parameters on which that report is published. Here the answer would be the A, that is UN Environment Program, that is UNEP. Others are not the answer. So this report is published by that. Okay, moving to the next question. With reference to remission, okay, the question asked is with reference to remissions of duties taxes on exported product, scheme consider the following statement. It is replaced by Niryat Rin Vikas Yojana. No, incorrect. It is meant to provide a zero rating of export or ensure that no domestic taxes are added to goods meant for export. Correct one. Its scope has been extended to include pharmaceutical, chemicals, and the iron and steel sector. Yes, correct one. So second and third is correct. First one incorrect. Let me explain you what is all about this. It is asking about remission of duties and taxes on exported product. You might be aware there are two terms when we talk about foreign. It is called export and import. When we send something from outside India, it is called export. So the question is on the same, that if we are exporting something, the domestic tax should not be implemented on that. Okay, suppose if you are exporting a product, and if a domestic tax is imposed on that same product, then that product would be costly and India would not able to sell that product in foreign market. So in such scenario, government to you can say encourage export has, you can say, remove the domestic taxes which is implying on that. So that's why the second and third is the correct one. The Niryat Rin Vikas Yojana is different in this Niryat Rin Vikas Yojana. It is clear by the name that there is a loan given to the exporter. So it is not a replacement of Niryat Vikas Yojana, because Niryat Rin Vikas Yojana is different, and the question which is asked about is reference to remission duties and taxes is different. So question, second and third would be the right answer. First one is the incorrect answer. Moving to the next one. Consider the following statement. The Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs is chaired by Finance Minister. No, it is chaired by either Prime Minister or in his absence, Home Minister, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. So it is not chaired by the Finance Minister, it is incorrect. The approval of minimum support price, very important question. The approval of minimum support price by the Cabinet Committee on the Economic Affairs is done on the recommendation of Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices. It is a statutory body, Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices, because MSP is always in news, right? You always heard about MSP, farmer is demanding about MSP. So who is that organization which is recommending for MSP? So Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices is the organization which recommend for MSP. So this is one the correct one. So only 2 is the correct one. The first one is wrong. Moving to the next, consider the following statement. The World Bank defines extreme poor to those living the, no, it is incorrect. It has been updated. It is $2.15 or something like that. So no, it is not $1.90. The extreme poverty line is based on 2017 as a purchasing power parity. Yes. Now what government is saying that the poverty should be defined not as per you can say this per day earning. It should be defined on purchasing power parity. Why it should be defined on purchasing power parity? And it would be giving a clear idea about the country's growth. Suppose if a person is earning 80 lakh rupees in US. So in India, if a same person have to live the same lifestyle as an US who is earning 80 lakh, in India he has to earn only 23 lakh, not 18 lakh. Okay. So because in India he can buy all those things in 23 lakh, what US need to spend 80 lakh. So this is all about purchasing power parity. How means कैसे आपका purchasing power parity कितना है? So second is the right one, first is incorrect one. So poverty should be defined on the purchasing power parity, not on this report. So this was in the news. Okay. Moving to the next question, consider the following statement. Again, an important question from polity. Article 127 of the Indian Constitution proposes that when a quorum of a permanent judge is needed to be continued to hold a Supreme Court session, the President can nominate High Court judge as an ad hoc. Okay, so here it is written President can nominate. No, it is CJI, Chief Justice of India, can nominate and President will appoint. So CJI can nominate and President will appoint. So first one is incorrect. The ad hoc judge of India carries all the power, authority, and advantage and the obligation of Supreme Court judge. Yes, right. Second one. So try to understand what was the question. Question was, according to Article 127 of Indian Constitution, proposes that when a quorum, what does quorum means? That is 10% of total strength. Suppose total strength of Supreme Court is 34. If 10% of total strength is not there, then in that scenario, any High Court judge or any other, you can say retired judge can be means nominated or appointed as an ad hoc judge. Okay. That power of nomination will depend, or that power of nomination lie with the Chief Justice of India. He nominates that name. President can only appoint. So that's why the first one is incorrect and second one is correct. Once he is appointed as a judge, he has all the power as a judge. Okay. So the second one is correct. Moving to the next question. With reference to following Shanghai deer, consider the following statement. Again, this is about a, you can say, wildlife park question. Now it is always a challenging for us. When I was also preparing, it was a challenge for me that which wildlife we should study, about which temple we should study. because there are a lot of temples, lot of wildlife and all. So we should figure out that where president has visited, whether prime minister has visited there or not. So that can be asked in the exam. Okay. The question is about with reference to Shanghai deer. It is found only in Panna National Park. No. Okay, it is in Manipur recently that is visited by the you can say prime minister. It is listed as a vulnerable on the IUCN red list. No. Okay, so neither one nor two is both is incorrect here. You can read it here that what is the context of asking this question? The prime minister has recently addressed the Manipur Shanghai festival. So the Shanghai deer is located in Manipur, not in Panna National Park, which is in Madhya Pradesh. So statement 1 is incorrect. The Shanghai deer is also known as Manipur deer. Is found only in Kabul Lamjao National Park. So it is located in Kabul Lamjao National Park. And why it is question is asked? Because Prime Minister has visited this park. Recently also Prime Minister has visited some of the wildlife sanctuary in Rajasthan. So there also from that section also question can be asked. Okay, in exam. Okay. Second statement is incorrect. It is listed as a endangered, not as a vulnerable. Okay. So IUCN has different coding for different species. So it is not under vulnerable, it is under endangered. Okay. So that's why the question is there. Next question is with reference to Indian economic growth data. Consider the following: gross domestic product, measurement, monetary measures of the final goods and services. ये तो आप बच्चे से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं. What is GDP? GDP is the measure of all three sectors final prices. Okay, तो यही चीज है. According to the RBI, the gross value added is a sector defined as the value of output minus value of intermediary input. That means सपोज कोई प्रोडक्ट बना है, सपोज एक पेन है, इसको बनने में 10 रुपए कॉस्ट आया, तो इनपुट को जो हम घटा देते हैं तब हमें जीवीए मिलता है. So both is correct. So both 1 and 2 is correct. Moving to the next question, 3D printing has an application in which the following of the okay. So 3D printing you might have seen in your T-shirt or various other places in various customized gift and all. There is a 3D printing application which is applicable there. So it is preparation of confectionery items. बहुत सारा केक वगैरह में भी आजकल जो है 3D printing किया जाता है just to make it look good. Manufacture of bionic ears, automotive industries, reconstructive surgery, and data processing technology. So all these 5 have 3D printing implemented. So it is also, you can say, nowadays it is a artificial technology of 3D printing which is growing very fast. Moving to the next. Development working group. Okay, related to which of this? So it is related to G20. We generally call G20 as a development working group. Very important for this year exam because lots of meeting is going on in G20 and India is hosting that. Recently Punjab hosted that, Bengal, and even in Delhi, it is even in Manipur and all. So this can be in the news. So it is called as a development working group as they are working for the development of developing countries. Okay, so that's why it is called development working group. Next question, which of the following is the applications of glyphosate recently seen in the news? So it is you can say used for the plant to kill weeds. Okay, so farmer इसको यूज करते हैं glyphosate. ठीक है, just a कीटनाशक है ये. Okay, the first one is the correct one here. Next question is with reference to genome sequencing. Consider the following statement. Another question from biology. A simple question over DNA. A genome is an organism complete set of DNA including all of its genes. Correct. And genome sequencing is a figuring out the order of DNA or base in a genome. Yes, both is the correct one. Both 1 and 2. This you will read in biology in details. What is genome, what is DNA and all. What is RNA, what is DNA. Moving to the next. Which of the following statement is are correct? Petrographs are the made for scratching, rubbing, and chipping at rock surfaces. Pictograph. Okay, so the difference between petrographs, pictograph, and geographs. So these are the 3 terms used here, and all of the above is the correct one. Okay, so this petrograph is used for the scratching and rubbing. Like right now, you can say the Ayodhya Ram Mandir is building. So they are using the technology of petrographs. What is pictograph? It is used in the हम करते हैं Ashoka rock. So it has a pictograph. Okay, and this geograph is simply making some architects on direct on ground. Suppose ये एक कोई जमीन है, इसके ऊपर हमने कोई एक architect बना दिया, so that is called geograph. So these all the 3 are the right one. Moving to the next question. With reference to the Commission for Air Quality Management, consider the following statement. It is a statutory body. It is headed by Prime Minister of India. It is a statutory body, correct one. It is not headed by the Prime Minister of India. It is headed by the, you can say, chairman. Chairman is appointed by the government, and that head this organization, not Prime Minister of India. So only one is the correct one. With reference to conjugal right, what does it mean and what context it has been used? Just let me explain that. Conjugal right is the right of privacy of husband and wife. That is, husband and wife should be given some privacy and they have some life. So why it is in the news? Recently, Punjab government has stated that there would be a conjugal rights for the husband and wife in the jail also. Suppose if husband is visiting jail and wife is already there due to some crime, so they can meet in some private areas, they can spend some time in private areas and all. So that is a conjugal right that is given to the jail inmates by the Punjab government. So that's why it is in the news. Conjugal right is the right created by marriage, that is the right of the husband and the wife to company with the spouse. So it is the correct one. And in the context of prison, conjugal visit refers to the concept of allowing prisoner to spend some time in privacy with his spouse within the you can say in jail. So it is both 1 and 2 and correct. So if they are visiting jail, so they can spend some private movement. So that is a conjugal rights, and which is important in point why it is in the news, because Punjab government has recently given them this right. Moving to the next question. With reference to gamma ray burst, consider the following statement. Again, a science and technology question. GRB, gamma ray, alpha, beta, gamma, you might have read in your classes, are the powerful astronomical burst high energy gamma ray. Correct. GRB emits more energy in few seconds than our sun will emit in its lifetime. Again, correct one. So both 1 and 2 are correct. Moving to the next question, Arnala, recently seen in the news, refers to an anti-submarine warfare. It is an indigenously developed anti-submarine warfare. ठीक है, जो कि इंडिया ने डेवलप किया है. So that's why it is in the news. You can see in the picture how it looks like. Arnala is the first 8 indigenously built anti-submarine warfare solo watercraft. The Indian Navy launched Arnala in the shipbuilding facility in Chennai. Moving to the next question. With reference to bomb cyclone, consider the following statement. What defines a bomb cyclone? How rapidly pressure rises? No. In question is asking, it is incorrect. What are the incorrect? So you must read that the question is asking about incorrect. Okay. So what defines bomb cyclone is how rapidly a pressure rises. No, it is pressures decreases. This quickly decreases the pressure in difference area and gradient between the two air masses, and therefore making wind stronger. So both are incorrect here. You can read the explanation part. With the reference to fog, consider the following statement. Okay, so there are various type of fog. You might have seen fog in Gangetic Plain also, in ocean also. So here the question is asked about Indian Gangetic Plain often sees a freezing fog. No, this freezing fog in the area where snow, like in Manali and all, there you can see the freezing fog. In Indo-Gangetic Plain, you cannot see the freezing fog. Advection fog mostly occurs where warm tropical cooler ocean water. So this second one is correct. Advection fog we see in the seaside. Advection fog where the sea or ocean area is there. There advection fog. Freezing fog in the, you can say, ice area or snowy area. Radiation fog, it is in the Indo-Gangetic Plain. Radiation fog. Okay? Radiation fog episode last few morning on account of calm wind, western disturbances, and resulting in a localized fog formation. So in Indo-Gangetic Plain, what type of fog we generally say? It is called radiation fog. In oceanic area, it is advection fog, or you can say freezing fog in a, you can say, snow area like Himachal and all. So these are the there are other type of fog also, that is like warm fog and different type of fog that you need not to read in detail, much in detail. So these are the important. So the you can say second and third is the correct one. First one is the wrong. Okay. So let's start one by one. If someone want to participate and want to give an answer, that would be good. Otherwise, I would be explaining the every answer. The first question is, with reference to Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, DRI, consider the following statement. The DRI is the apex anti-smuggling agency of India. Correct. Okay. It is the agency which controls all the drug related issues which is going in, means everything and anything which is related to drugs is controlled by this organization. The DRI has also been designated as the lead agency for anti-smuggling national coordination center. Again, the second point is also right. It is the lead agency. It has every right to coordinate with all other you can say agencies of India, coordinate with various law agencies, and can take actions against the drug smuggling and all. So DRI is the supreme authority which controls the anti-smuggling activity in India. Okay. So, and it also has the power to coordinate with all law authorities. So answer should be C, that is both 1 and 2. Moving to the next question. In India, which one of the following is the nodal body coordinating with UNESCO for the matter related to intangible cultural heritage? What does intangible means? An intangible cultural heritage is a practice, representation, expression, knowledge or skill considered by UNESCO. साधारण सी भाषा में आपसे पूछा जा रहा है कि कौन सी ऐसी एजेंसी है जो आपके कल्चर को प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए यूनेस्को के साथ टाई अप करती है और कई सारे इवेंट प्रोसेस करती है. तो कौन सी एजेंसी है, इसका नाम पूछा गया है. आर्कोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया, नो. जियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया, नो. संगीत नाटक एकेडमी, यस. दिस इज द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विच work on the various activities, the theater, drama and all, to protect your you can say culture and all with the in coordination with UNESCO. Okay, moving to the next question. With reference to the formal method in the constitution to resolve interstate dispute, consider the following. So the question is asking that when there is a dispute between center and state or state and state, so you have to choose between given option. Article 263 of the Constitution gives power to President to set interstate council for resolution of dispute between a state. Yes, it is the power of President. If two states is fighting, then it is power of President that it can appoint interstate council, like in case of Satluj Jal Vivad between Punjab and Haryana, or in Kaveri dispute. There is a Kaveri dispute, and there also you can say inter-dispute panel has been set up by President. Second point is, as per Article 131 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court in its original jurisdiction decide imputes between state. Yes, right. What does original jurisdiction means here? Original jurisdiction means that if any debate between state versus state, directly you can approach to Supreme Court. You need not to approach the lower court. As in case of fundamental right, you know that in case of fundamental right, you can directly approach to Supreme Court or High Court. Similarly, if there is a debate between state versus state or center versus state, so that is under the original jurisdiction of Supreme Court, and any state or center can approach to Supreme Court. Like debate, there is a any you can say fight between Kolkata and central government. So West Bengal government or central government directly approach to Supreme Court. So here also the answer would be both 1 and 2. Moving to the next question, with reference to Stand Up India scheme. Okay, so it is a scheme which is related to SC, ST and marginalized women. Which of the following statements are correct? It is a purpose to promote entrepreneurship among the SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. Yes, correct. It is provided for the refinancing through SIDBI. So there is an organization SIDBI, and through this organization, they have been financed, that is loan is given at lower interest rate. So here also both 1 and 2 is correct. Moving to the next question. For those who are new and not aware of all this topic, you can just understand how UPSC is asking questions. And for all those who are giving this exam in 2023 or may attempt in 2024, for them you can learn these questions because it is important question. Next question is the Asiatic cheetah is classified as a critically endangered species by IUCN. This IUCN is an organization which release ranking, that is they say that whether it is a data deficient, that is DD, data deficient, पता नहीं क्या है इस मतलब wild life के बारे में. Then they have a critically endangered, CR, then endangered, vulnerable. So these are some of the ranking which have been given to different animals by this IUCN. Okay, so they are the classifying agency, you can say like that. So the question is asked that whether Asiatic cheetah is classified as critically endangered. The first point is this. So the first point is right. The Asiatic cheetah is classified as a critically endangered, and African cheetah are the bigger in size compared to Asiatic cheetah. Again, the second point is also right. So both 1 and 2 is the right one. Moving to the next question. The Kerch Strait. What does a strait means? That is a narrow piece of sea that joins two larger sea. एक छोटा सा जगह है और अगर ये कोई दो बड़े सी है, लाइक मान लो ये इंडियन ओशियन है और ये पैसिफिक ओशियन है, तो दिस इज अ स्ट्रेट and this is Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean that can be joined together. So just to make you understand, so the Kerch Strait connects the Black Sea with the Sea of Marmara. No, it is wrong. I'll explain, or I will tell you that which is right one. The next option here, next question here is the Bosphorus Strait is a strait in Eastern Europe that connects the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. The both is neither one, neither two. Both is incorrect here. Okay. The correct would be, you can see the explanation. The Bosphorus connect the Black Sea and Sea of Marmara. So the first option is the what? The second option is the right for the first one. And the Kerch Strait is the strait of Eastern Europe. It connects the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. So you can say that it was written in opposite manner. Moving to the next question. Which of the following statements are not true with reference to process of delimitation? Let me explain you the process of delimitation. Delimitation is the you can say set up by election commission, and it generally after every census check that population of that area and MLA and MP seat. Okay, you know that there are the MLA and MP seat, MLA seat for the state and MP seat for the center. Okay, so how many people will elect MLA? Suppose if you can say state have 2 crore population like Delhi. So how many MLA seat would be there? Like in Delhi, there are just 70 constituencies. So that these all constituencies have equal number of people. So that equal representation should be there for one MLA. Generally, we say that around 10 MLA constituency make one MP constituency. So this is how we divide MP and MLA constituency, and this is how we fix that how many MLA from one state and how many from MLA from the other state. So this is the way that how we fix the MLA and MP constituency, and it is done by a delimitation commission. So the question here asked is, the question point is, delimitation is carried out by an independent delimitation commission appointed by the Election Commission of India. Yeah, the first point is right. The draft proposed of the delimitation commissions are not for the public feedback. Okay, it is wrong. It is for the public feedback. It is either not for the public. No, it is given for the public feedback. Under the Article 82, the Parliament is to enact Delimitation Act after every census, right? In the history of the Indian Republic, Delimitation Commission have been set up 4 times. Yeah, it is also right. Okay, so B is the only incorrect one. Okay, so where means in which year this set up? 1952, 1963, 1973, and 2002. So these are the year when Delimitation Commission was set up. And the role of delimitation commission was to delimitate the areas for MP and MLA election. Okay. Moving to the next, recently seen in the news, Germanics are cryptocurrency trading platform which created an association with financial institutions such as the New York Stock Exchange. And no, it is the wrong one. Moving to the next option, if we talk about the next option is JAXA space mission to clarify the origin and evolution of the solar system. No. Okay, actually it is a meteor shower. So what is meteor shower? Meteor shower is generally when from one point so many meteor is originated. Like this. This is called a meteor shower. You know about a meteor or smaller particles in the space. So these are called this is how a meteor shower looks. So many meteors originating from one position. So those germinates are the meteor shower. So such type of question is asked. They can ask one term and they will ask that what this term is related to which of the following topic. So you have to know about that term which is in the news. So this germinates is related to meteor shower. Moving to the next topic. With the reference to review petition. What is review petition? If a verdict is given by Supreme Court or any court and the same verdict is reviewed, means the same verdict either challenged by anyone or even reviewed by the authority himself. Even Supreme Court can review this verdict himself. Suppose Supreme Court has given any verdict in 2020 and in 2022 Supreme Court wants to review its verdict and want to change its judgment. So that Supreme Court can do. Okay, it is also a strength of judiciary. There is a scope of correction. Okay, अगर आप सोचो कि जुडिशरी कोई वर्डिक्ट देता और स्कोप ऑफ करेक्शन ही नहीं होता तो केशवानंद भारती केस तो होता ही नहीं. Okay, so we generally say that if there is a scope of correction, that can be done through review petition. The option here is it is necessary that only parties related to case can seek review of the judgment. No, anyone can seek the review petition. Okay, suppose there is a judgment delivered by Supreme Court. If you are not the party, but you are affected by that judgment, you can file a review petition in Supreme Court. Okay, the Constitution gives under Article 1 the Supreme Court power to review any of its judgment or orders. Yes, right. Review petitions are usually not heard in open court. Yes, it is generally heard in the chamber of judge. The judge who has given that verdict, in their chamber only, that can be heard, the chamber of judge. Okay, so it is not heard in an open court, you can say like that. So 2 and 3 is the right one. First one is the wrong. Anyone can review the petition. Okay, moving to the next question. With reference to nuclear fusion, consider the following. It is the process of splitting of nucleus in two. Okay, it is wrong. It is the process of combining of nuclei. You might have heard this in basic science of class 10. There is a process of nuclear fusion and nuclear fission. These are the two terms you might have heard. So fusion is a process which is combining of two nuclei, and fission is a process which is splitting of isotope, you can say like that. तो combining जब बात होगा तो हम बात करेंगे fusion की, और जब breaking की बात होगी तो हम fission की बात करते हैं. So here the option is it is the process of splitting. No, it is wrong. Okay, so first one is the wrong one. Fusion is a carbon-free source of energy, has negligible radiation risks. Yes, right. Fusion is the risk of place state matter called plasma. Yes, right. So second and third one is the right one, and the first one is incorrect because the definition is given for fission, not fusion. Moving to the next one. Which of the following statement is not true with respect to new pension scheme, NPS? You might have heard that now the pensions for the government employee has been, old pension schemes for the government employee has been removed, and now everyone can register themselves for new pension scheme. It is like a social security scheme of the America, where even a private or unorganized sector person can spend some of his money in the NPS system, and at the time of its old age time they can get as a pension also. So in private system also NPS can be utilized. So now government is saying that we will not give pensions to the at the time of retirement. We are means giving a NPS system, and those whatever you are depositing in NPS system, that will be given at the in terms of retirement. So there is a difference between NPS and OPS. The option here is the shift of NPS was undertaken due to concern over the coverage, sustainability and scalability of old pension framework. Yes, it was becoming a liability for the government, old pension scheme, because huge amount of government revenue was spending over the giving pensions to its employee. So that's why government has launched a new pension scheme. Old pension scheme has been scrapped. Okay. Next option here is, if you can see, it is that the FPRD is the regulating of NPS. Yes, it is also right. It works under Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance के अंदर वर्क करता है, और ये जो PF फंड आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, FPRDA जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वही उसके अंदर काम करता है. Moving to the next, only government employees are eligible for under NPS. The question here asked is not true. Now all the employee who is working is eligible under NPS, so only government employee is incorrect. Even private or unorganized, all others, all our employees are entitled for NPS. The NPS proposed by the Project Oasis report become the basis for pension reform, so it is right. So all the others are right. Option C is incorrect. Moving to the next question. Recently in news, toolkit on enabling gender responsive urban mobility, that is जेंडर फ्रेंडली मोबिलिटी, यानी कि फीमेल के लिए जो है मोबिलिटी को जो है वो थोड़ा देखा जाए कि कैसे हर जगह जो है फीमेल का, आप इन मोबिलिटी केस भी जनरली इट इज यू सी दैट द फीमेल को जो है सिक्योरिटी नहीं मिल पाता है. In such case, you might be remember the Nirbhaya case which happened in Delhi, you can say transport, that is in a bus service. So in such case, this gender report is there, and is launched by UN Women World Bank. So it was launched by World Bank. So World Bank is our organization which is looking into this aspect of gender responsive urban mobility, and even World Bank is funding various developing country so that they can be gender friendly. That is, public transport can be gender friendly in that state or country, you can say. Moving to the next question, with reference to Sri Venkateswara temple, consider the following statement. Now, again, in previous session, I have said you that how we should know that we should read about which temple. You have to check that whether it has been visited by any of the prime minister, president, or like that. Like this temple has been visited by President Draupadi Murmu. So that's why we are discussing in the news. So this is how you filter out. It is situated in the hill town of Tirumala, Chittor. Yeah, right one. The temple follow Vaishakha Agana tradition of worship. It is a tradition of worship to worship Lord Vishnu. Okay, Vishnu Bhagwan ko पूजने का एक तरीका है. So both one is the correct one, and this is in the news because Draupadi Murmu has visited this place. So that's why we are reading this. Moving to the next question. Question number 14 we have. A carbon credit is a kind of tradable permit that equals 1 ton of carbon dioxide removed, reduced, and from the atmosphere. Yeah, right one. Paris Agreement, you might be heard about this Paris Agreement. A lot of I think has been discussed about Paris Agreement. So Paris Agreement is related to Environment Agreement, and by countries fulfill their determined contribution NDC. Yes, both one is the correct. See, in environment, carbon emission, that is reducing carbon emission and reducing global warming. These are such two questions which is always in news. So anything or everything related to carbon emission and how to reduce carbon emission, you have to study that, or related to global warming. So these are the two topics which you have to read and you have to understand. If any terms is or any you can say innovation in regarding this field is there, then you have to read because it is important for UPSC automatically. Okay, moving to the next one. With reference to surety bond insurance, consider the following statement. It involves a three-party. Yes, it is right. It involves three-party agreement if we talk about. And then it will act as a security arrangement for infrastructure project and will insulate the contract as well as the principal. Okay, the second one is also the right one. Okay, next is it's both 1 and 2. So if in simple term we want to understand surety bond insurance, you people might be aware that आजकल क्या होता है, जो रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर है उसमें आपको समय पे जो है प्रोजेक्ट डिलीवरी नहीं मिलती है. तो श्योरिटी बॉन्ड स्कीम क्या होता है, आपके बीच में, बिल्डर्स के बीच में, और यू कैन से जो इंश्योरेंस कंपनी है इनके बीच में एक एग्रीमेंट होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड थ्री पार्टी एग्रीमेंट. प्रिंसिपल यानी आप हो गए, देन जो बिल्डर है जो कि जमीन को बना रहा है वो हो गया, एंड देन यू कैन से द इंश्योरेंस कंपनी, that is we call surety bond. So if builder is not completing project on time, then surety bond will help principal to get the project on time. So either it will fund the builder or something like that. Similarly, suppose builder is making project on time, but principal, that is we, are not giving money on time. So in this case also this insurance company will give money to the builder. So they are acting and the middleman for both them, so that project can be delivered on time. And since there are a lot of fraud going on in infrastructure level, in such scenario, this surety bond insurance is you can say working well and can be useful. Okay, moving to the next question. With reference to Commission for Air Quality Management, consider the following statement. It is a statutory body. Yes, I hope you know that what is a statutory body. If it is formed by a Act of Parliament, not by constitutional amendment. If it is formed by constitutional amendment, we call it as a constitutional authority. If it is formed by Act of Parliament, then we call it as a you can say statutory body. It is headed by Prime Minister. No, it has its own chairperson. Right now, MM Kutti is the chairperson. So only first one is the correct one. Moving to the next one. Which of the following taxes are considered to be direct tax? And you might be till the time you might be aware about what is direct tax. Direct tax क्या होता है, जो डायरेक्टली आपके इनकम पे लगाया जाता है. ठीक है. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स क्या होता है, आपके सर्विसेज पे लगाया जाता है. जो भी सर्विसेज आप यूज करते हैं, जो भी प्रोडक्ट आप यूज करते हैं उसके ऊपर. लाइक रोड टैक्स, दैट इज अ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. So here you have option personal income tax. Since it will be on your personal income, so it is a direct tax. Minimum alternate tax, no, it would not be a direct tax. Corporation tax, yes, it would be a you can say direct tax. And okay, okay, yes, and security transaction tax. So these are the options here. Okay, if we see the explanations, so we have answer B would be the option, that is 1 and 3. 1 and 3 would be a direct tax, and these are the indirect tax. Okay. Moving to the next one. The Tal Chhappar black back century that was recently seen in the news located in which of the state? It is located in Rajasthan. A very simple question. Such type of century and wildlife question, always there would be a one question from that. And so you have to read all the wildlife sanctuary and this where it is located and all. With reference to circular trading, consider the following. So there is a question about circular trading and you have been asked to consider the following. So circular trading refers to a fraudulently availing input tax credit by a trader issuing invoice without availing real goods and services. Yes, correct. Sometime कंपनियां क्या करती है, जानबूझ के अपनी खरीद बिक्री दिखाती है, वो जो होता भी नहीं है फिर भी अपना इन्फ्लेशन. Like we talk about Adani, and there are just to increase its share, they have shown the wrong input in that. So inflation purpose, they show all such type talk. The main objective of circulation trading is inflating turnover. तो अपनी कंपनी की जो टर्नओवर है उसको इन्फ्लेट करके दिखाने के लिए ये सर्कुलर ट्रेडिंग यूज होता है, जिसमें कि एक सामान अपने से ही दूसरे को दे दिया, फिर घूम के अपने पास आ गया. ठीक है, एक मूवी भी इस पे बना था जिसमें कि वो सामान लोन लिया था दुकान खोलने के लिए एंड ही वाज यूजिंग दैट फॉर ऑन पर्पजेज. सो सेम दिस वाज देइंग कि यहाँ से आपने निकाला, किसी अपने ए पर्सन को दे दिया, ये भी आपका ही बंदा है, फिर बी को दे दिया, ये आपका ही बंदा है, फिर ये सी को दे दिया, आपने यहाँ पे अपना सामान बिकता हुआ दिखा दिया. ठीक है. So your goods is not selling, but you are showing that it is selling and you are showing your company value. Suppose if I am working in an organization, I am just falsely showing that I have taken 100 admission or 200 admission, although student has not enrolled. So that could not be there. So in this case, this both is the right one. So moving the last question of the day, that is question 20. With reference to India, consider the following statement. Judicial custody means accused in the custody of the concerned magistrate, and such accused is locked up in a police station, not in a jail. No. See, there are two types of custody. One is police custody. Whenever there is any you can say आपके ऊपर जब भी कोई इल्जाम लगता है, any means there the police will arrest you, and for first 3-4 days they will keep you in police custody, where they will interrogate you, take you to the site of scene and all. And after that, police court will send you for the judicial custody, where you will remain in jail, and police can question you from the jail, but by the permission of the judiciary. So that the complete statement is opposite of that. Here it is written that judicial custody means are accused in the custody of the concerned magistrate, and such accused is locked up in a police station. No, they are not locked up in a police station, they are locked up in a jail. Okay. During the judicial custody, the police officer charged of the case is not allowed to integrate. They are allowed to integrate, but they need to take the permission without the approval of court. Okay. So without approval of the court, the second one is the right one. The first one is incorrect. So there are two types of custody, that is judicial custody or police custody. In police custody, you have to be in police lockup and they will interrogate you. But in judicial custody, you have to be in jail. And if any authority, that is investigating authority, want to integrate, they had to take the permission of judiciary, and then they get integrated with you. Which of the given statement best describe the total fertility rate? So not asking the birth rate, it is about total fertility rate. The first option is, it is the number of live birth per 1,000 person in population in a given year. No, it is called crude birth rate. It is not fertility rate, it is called crude birth rate. The first option is wrong. Coming to second option, it is the average number of children expected to be born per woman during her entire span of the reproductive period. Okay, it is the rate at which women are replaced by the daughter who will have a children. No, so B is the correct answer, and this also the so matlab A and D both defining the birth rate only. So fertility rate is defined by the average number of children expected to born for women during her entire span of the reproductive period. So some of the simple topic, but option can be always challenging for you, because you might have read about birth rate, you might have read about fertility rate, but here choosing out of these four options always are challenging. The option B is the correct one. Moving to the next. Okay, this PDF will be given to you so that you can read the detail. Campaigns like Warrior Mom, so they are campaign name, and Kids First. which were recently in the news, okay, is related to following: kids stuck in a war zone, no. Protecting children from sexual offenses, no. Protecting children from climate change, yes, it is the right answer. You know that nowadays global warming, recently we have read the impact of El Nino, La Nina and all. So these are causing global warming, temperature change, weather pattern is changing. In such case, these are the term warrior mom, kids first are used for the protecting children from climate change. So option C is the right one. Okay, this question can be asked because UPSC is also very sensitive to environment and climate change. So such questions can be asked. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statement regarding Aadhaar. Aadhaar details cannot be used as a proof of identity. It can be used as a proof of identity. Many of you who are present in the session might have taken SIM and other things, that is mobile SIM, through your Aadhaar. That is, so it can be used as a proof of identity. So it is not right answer. Aadhaar is a proof of citizenship. No, Aadhaar is not a proof of citizenship. Consider the following statement are correct. Okay, the linking of voter ID and Aadhaar may stop bogus voting. Okay, yes, it is a correct. So option, you can say Aadhaar card cannot be used as a proof of identity. Yes, it can be used as a proof of identity. So you can say only 3. That is D option is a correct one, and other were wrong. So can anyone tell me what is the proof of identity? Whether it is passport, birth certificate, or anything else. So primarily birth certificate is generally considered the proof of, you can say, citizenship. But in some country, passport is also used and voter ID is also used. For India, it is birth certificate. Okay, so option D is the correct one. Moving to the next question. Recently seen in the news, golden triangle and golden crescent does not encompass which country? So you might have read in history also about golden triangle and golden crescent. That is triangle, we generally say this is a golden triangle and this is generally a form of golden crescent. They form generally map like this, so we call it as a golden crescent. So question is asking the country name, which country is not part of golden crescent or a. So Iraq is not part of this. If we talk about golden triangle, it is Myanmar, Laos and Thailand. So golden triangle is Myanmar, Laos and Thailand. These are the golden triangle, and it is famous for opium cultivation and opium trade, drugs trade, you can say. And if we talk about golden crescent, it is Afghanistan, Iran and Pakistan. Afghanistan, Iran and Pakistan. So Iraq is the, you can say, is not part of this golden triangle and golden crescent. It is you can say in history also this was used for opium trade and all, and it is important. There can be questions on golden triangle and golden crescent in UPSC also. Moving to the next question. You can see through diagram also what I have explained. With reference to Marrakech in partnership for global climate action, consider the following. It supports the implementation of Paris Agreement by enabling collaboration between government, cities, regions, business and investors that act as a climate change. Okay, it was launched in November 2016 as COP25. So no, the second option is wrong. It was launched as COP22. Not at COP25. So it is option is wrong. First one is correct. This Marrakech agreement, because it is a place name of the place. Okay, that is in Morocco, so that we call it as a Marrakech partnership agreement. It is again related to environment only. So you can say the option 1 only, that is A option would be the correct one here. Option 2 is wrong. Moving to the next question. With reference to rule of origin, that is from where the trade had originated, that is called rule of origin. Consider the following statement. Rule of origin as criteria needed to determine the national source of product. Okay. The second option is the general agreement on tariff and trade has no specific rules governing the determination of country of origin of goods and international commerce. Yes, both are the correct one. It is generally decided by the both country that it should be where no, it should not be decided by this GATT. So both is the correct one here about rules of origin. Moving to the next. Consider the following statement about Nada Prabhu, Kempegoda, and okay. So see, I have also explained in previous class that if you are reading some question or if you are getting a question from art and culture, how you will know that from where UPSC will ask question? Because it's very difficult to guess. Lots of temple are there. Now this question is Nada Prabhu Kempagoda. Why this question is asked here? Because the Prime Minister has recently unveiled the you can say that idol and temple of this Nada Prabhu Kempagoda. So the question is asked from that. We have already said that if some temple is completing its 100 years or some anniversary, that is you can say 26th or 25th, like that, in such scenario there is a chances that question can be asked from there, or any visit, like president has visited that temple or prime minister has visited that temple. So such topics you need to cover, because from there is a question which can be asked. So here it has, he was a 16th century chieftain under the rule of Vijayanagar Empire, correct. He is credited with laying foundation what is today known as Bangalore city, okay, correct. And recently, since there is an election in Karnataka, so it is in the news. He abolished the practice of cutting the fingers of the left hand of an unmarried woman during the custom known as Bandi Devaru. Okay, so all of the above is correct here. Okay, so you can note it down for 2023. It can be an important question. Moving to the next, Network Readiness Index published by Business Network International, International Telecom Union, the International Cooperation Names, and the Portugal. This D option is the right. I've already said you this such type of question can be asked about indexes and all, that which of the organization which releases index. So it was the organization, and the report, the parameter on which this index is released is on technology, people, governance, and impact of covering total 58 variable. So they cover total 58 variable and then releases the network readiness index. Okay, moving to the next, with reference to doctrine of lapse. All those who have read history or even in NCRT, they have read about doctrine of lapse and subsidiary alliance. These are the two major weapons of Britishers in which they tried to control Indian ruler: subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse. Okay. Now, first point, it was an annexation policy followed widely by William Bentinck. No. William Bentinck was one who was famous for Sati Pratha, ending Sati Pratha in 1828. As per this, Ella adopted as one of the Indian rulers could not be proclaimed as the heir of kingdom. Yes, it is the right one, but the first you can say is the wrong one. So it was first you can say Lord Wellesley. Subsidiary alliance was you can say subsidiary alliance was launched by Lord Wellesley. Okay, here you can see that recently Prime Minister has paid tributes to Rani Lakshmi Bai, and that's why it is in the news. And doctrine of lapse was annexation policy followed widely by Lord Dalhousie. So doctrine of lapse, Lord Dalhousie, and subsidiary alliance by Lord Wellesley. So these were the two major, you can say, weapon of Britishers. So subsidiary alliance and this. Due to doctrine of lapse, only the Jhansi of Rani Lakshmi Bai was taken by Britishers. Okay. Moving to the next, with reference to blue bagging, consider the following statement. It is form of hacking that lets attacker to access a device through the discoverable Bluetooth connection. Correct. So all of you are traveling in metro and you are keeping your Bluetooth on. Might be some of you. So just stop that, because this is a cyber crime which is going to take place through the Bluetooth connection. If an attack has been done on your phone by Bluetooth connection, then they will take access of all your messages and call. Once the device phone is debugged, hacker can listen to the calls, read and send messages, and still both of these are the correct. So blue bugging is a technology, or you can say a hacker use this technology to hack your mobile phone through Bluetooth. Okay, so both 1 and 2 is the correct one. With reference to Fujiwara effect. Okay, this was an effect, again a topic of geography, which generally arises due to merger of two tropical cyclone. Okay, so Fujiwara effect is an interaction between tropical storms formed around the same time and same region with their center or eye at a distance of less than 100 kilometers. So complete statement is almost correct, only this part is incorrect. It is 1400, not 100. So it is only incorrect, so that's why this complete statement become wrong. And the interaction could lead to changes in the track intensity or either both storm and storm. Yeah, this one is correct. Okay, second only is the correct. First one is also explaining the correct, but only 100 kilometers is there. That is wrong. Okay, so you can see the explanation part. Okay, moving to the next part. Yeah, this was the through diagram. It has been explained to you. Which of the following pairs is are correctly matched? So question is asked, which of the following pair are correctly matched? Generally, this type of question is always difficult for the student. So second and fourth are correctly matched in this. That is second and fourth are correctly matched. If we talk about Nalur Mangrove, it is in you can say it is in Karnataka, Bangalore, and this last one, this upper leg is a in you can say means just have an explanation part of this. So pair one is not correct. That is this Nalur Grove is located in Devanali Taluk near Bangalore, Karnataka, and pair two is correct. So pair two is correct, pair four is correct, pair first and third is wrong. Okay, next question is high volt recently mentioned in the news is a radio communication satellite, asteroid, supercomputer developed by China, surface to air missile. It is a radio communication satellite. Okay, so A is the correct one. With reference to payment aggregator, consider the following. It provides payment service to merchant and e-commerce site by accepting payment instrument from the customer. Correct. And they pool the funds received from the customer and transfer them to the merchant after a certain time. Yes, correct. So both 1 and 2 is correct about payment aggregator. Like Paytm, PhonePe, these are the payment aggregator. They take payment from you and they transfer that payment to the merchant. Okay, so that is called payment aggregator. Moving to the next. Coronavia Joint Work Agriculture is an initiative of CSIR, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, Niti Aayog, and none of the above. Actually, it is an initiative of UN, United Nations Framework Convention, that is UNFCCC. So all of the above is, none of the above is the correct answer. You can see that it is the initiative of UNFCCC, United Framework for Convention on Climate Change. So it is the initiative of that is Joint Work for Agriculture. Moving to the next topic, the term friend shoring recently in the news refers to alliance. Okay, so this term was recently used by American secretary which have visited recently to India. Okay, what friend shoring means? It simply means that the country which is favorable for you can say other country, like for America, India is a favorable country. So America can share raw material or all other required things, like they can set up a factory here. So that country is called friend shoring country or ally shoring. Other name of this is ally shoring also. Okay, so first point is alliance of cities region for the reconstruction of Ukraine. Okay, the first point here it is given, so which is incorrect. Describe how trade technology have made the world into more connected and interdependent place. So B is the correct one. So it is a word given for a friendly country, between two friendly countries, a trade and other activities. So recently America has termed India as a friend shoring country. So that's why it is in the news, you can say. Moving to the next, which among the following states does not enjoy the special category status? A very simple question. Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Punjab, and Uttarakhand. Punjab do not enjoy any special status. All other Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, and Uttarakhand enjoy the special status. Moving to the next, with reference to International Electronical Commission. Okay, consider the following statement. It publishes international standard for all electrical, electronic, and related technology. Okay, yes, it is the correct one. India is not a member of this commission. No, India is a member. So it is incorrect. So first only would be the correct. Which of the following statement is are correct respect to the right of freedom of religion? Okay, Article 25 of Indian Constitution guarantees the freedom of consciousness, the freedom of profess, practice, propagate religion, all citizen, reasonable restrictions. Yes, it is the correct one. The second point is also correct one. The Constitution of India guarantee the right, that is Article 26. The second point is all about Article 26. You know that from Article 25 to 28, there is a freedom of religion that is under fundamental right. So both the option here is correct one. So last question of the day. With reference to consumer price index, again a question is asked over index. Consider the following statement. The consumer price index is a comprehensive measure used to estimation of price changes in a basket of goods and services. Okay. Second question, you can say that second part is CPI for industrial worker is compiled, released by Labor Bureau in the Ministry of Labor. So the second part here is wrong. First is only the correct one. This one is correct. Second is wrong. It is not released by Labor Bureau of Ministry of Labor. It is wrong. So just see the, you can see the explanation part. Okay. First three are the compiled and released by the Labor Bureau in Ministry of Labor. The fourth one is released by NSO, National Statistical Organization. So you can see that national level there are 4 consumer price index. So at national level there are 4 consumer price index. First is CPI for industrial worker. Second is CPI for agricultural labor, and CPI for rural, urban, and combined. So so all these, if we talk about the option we have here, moving back, that is CPI for industrial worker. So it is not released by Labor Ministry. It is released by National Static NSO. So index based question can be asked, like happiness index or anything. This question is bound to ask. So every news which is related to index based question, you must cover that, especially parameters and all this you need to cover.